All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to AIMBOT. We show all about FPSs and shooters, games like that in general. I'm doing a really good job of introing my show. I'm getting better at this every time. I should write this down so that I don't embarrass myself. Anyway, couple announcements before we go live. AGDQ 2023 online will be January 8th to the 15th. Game submissions are open until tomorrow, September 21st. I'm actually new to the games committee this year. I applied and they accepted it. So please submit. I really want to see what people have. I know Dangerous, at least, is submitting the game that you're about to see. So I'm really stoked for that. And there's a bunch of other submissions that I'm really looking forward to. And Fright Fatales is a one-day event on October 23rd to celebrate spooky season with dark, scary, or horror-themed speedruns from the Frame Fatales community. Exclamation point Fright in chat to learn more about this one-off event. So, the games for tonight. These are some kind of quirky ones. So the first one up, this one actually just came out like a month ago or something like that. It was really recent, and I've been interested in it since I saw a bunch of previews for it, and it's very Doom-like. And I got the man himself, Dangerous, over to run it. So without further ado, Dane, take it away.
Hello, everybody. I am Dangerous. You might remember me from, it was like a month ago. I was here on AIMBOT running Doom 2016, and we are back again today with Fashion Police Squad, a brand new game. Like Amy said, this game's been out for a month and 5 days, so it is still very new, and it is also very, very broken, as you will soon see. On the couch, we have your illustrious hosts, Amerlin.
Hi. I don't know why I waved at the camera. I'm Amerlin. I've run this game. I think this game is really good.
Yeah, I just heard his voice too. And on the couch, we have somebody that has never seen the speed run at all, and only played the demo to level 3, because that's as far as the demo actually gets. We have Mr. Meta Live, who was also here during the Doom run like a month ago. Meta?
Hi, yeah, my name is Meta. I run lots of different FPS games, not Fashion Police Squad. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for bringing me on, Dane. And yeah, I've seen the first 3 levels and nothing else, so I'm excited for what's in store for me.
And I specifically
lots of memes.
Yeah, I specifically asked him to not play the game or watch the run or any of that, so he would go in completely blind. So you get to see his live reactions, because last time he cackled like a hyena at one point, so we want to try to replicate that if we can. I'm going to start the run. I'm going to select the difficulty, and then when the load screen hits, that's where we're going to start the timer. So I'll try to count this in as best I can. I'll do the best I can. All right, so we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice, good luck.
So we're going to start by mashing spacebar to skip this cutscene fast as we can. And then we load into level 1, obviously. Now, one thing that you kind of have to understand about this game and the way that it works is every enemy only is defeated by a certain weapon. So there's infinite ammo for everything except for one weapon that we'll get very late game, and you'll see what that is. So this is where we meet the Dull Suit, and the Dull Suit can only be defeated by using this the 2-die-4 Carbine Elite, which is basically just a shotgun. It's sort of treated as a shotgun. Do you notice that we shoot? It's basically a paintball gun. We're shooting these guys, but we're not killing them. We're making them fabulous.
Let's go. Nice.
Their death animations are great.
Yeah. Oh, it was like one of these days I need to actually get an emote of that made for one of the emote extensions.
Yeah. So there's only a couple of forced arenas like this in the whole game, but basically anything with a red dot above its head is an enemy you have to take out.
Yeah, so we're supposed to go get a pair of scissors, but if you jump onto this light and jump over this gate, you can get out of bounds.
Nice.
There's out of bounds in 9 out of the 10 normal levels. And then there's 3 boss levels, which we'll talk about those when we get there. But there's out of bounds in 9 out of 10 of them. And when it was, like I said, the game's brand new, and in the Discord server, like the official Discord server, people have been pointing out, oh, hey, I got out of bounds in this spot. And the developers were like, oh, yeah, we left that in for speedrunners. So
nice.
They specifically,
the devs have been pretty chill.
Yeah, the devs are really cool, and they've been like very receptive to the feedback that they've gotten from players. So if you know the Berserk from Doom 2016, this is that. So it's called the Fab Slap, where we slap some fashion sense into these enemies. And that is the fastest way to end this fight. And that is level 1. So we skipped a big chunk of this by skipping that initial pair of scissors. And then after every level, we're just gonna mash space to skip this end level screen that gives you your in-game time and other statistics that we just don't care about in any percents because it's any percent, not 100%. We go into level 2. This is a structurally similar level. However, we're gonna get out of bounds much earlier, and we're gonna spend most of the level out of bounds. Another little thing that the developers did that was really nice was at launch, like on release patch, you had to mash the interact key to... oh yeah, we're out of bounds, by the way. You had to mash the interact key. It's just that easy. In order to skip like dialogue sequences. And then they later on changed it so that you could just hold down the interact key and you could skip the whole thing. So little quality of life
nice.
thing. Yeah, it was
it's really nice.
really nice thing to have updated. And I was like, thank God they're fixing that stuff, but they're not patching the out of bounds.
Yeah.
The way you
one of
obtain...
the,
oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say one of the things that Dane is skipping is the enemy intros, where you get to see like how the game expects you to kill each enemy. So like the really flashy guys, you gotta right click with this gun.
Yep. And then we just met a new enemy that I skipped, and you could just skip those intro sequences by holding down the space bar. So this is a very scary jump. Nice. It's kind of a tricky jump to make. It's not too difficult, but you can miss it pretty easily. So you got to be very precise about how you set that up. But by going like around all of these things, you skip a whole bunch of like spots where you have to like go get another pair of scissors and cut the ribbon and all that. And by the way, we have a belt, and the belt is not just a belt; it is also a grappling hook.
The grappling hook in this game feels so nice.
It's very nice.
Ridiculous.
You can launch yourself off of grappling points by releasing at a certain time, just like that, and you go way farther than you're supposed to.
But it's all intentional. There's nothing like glitched about this. It's just you can get a lot of speed depending on when you let go of the thing. So if I let go right now and now, I can get a lot of speed going through here. Yep, you can. Yeah, and the timing on that's pretty hard to get exactly right.
I love how the objective here is fashionize the fools.
Oh, you're gonna see a whole bunch of stuff like that. Oops, I made a critical error. Hold on. I made a critical error. Hold on.
An oopsie?
I made a little oopsie. So one of the problems with this game is there's no native key binding for weapons. You can rebind everything else except your weapons for some reason. Not totally sure why. So in order to get around this, I have been running an AutoHotkey script that rebinds the weapons in the menu. Not in the menu, but just as a third-party application so that I could actually get the weapons on the keys that I want. And you don't have to get every single enemy in there, you just have to get the ones that are triggered for that fight. And you can do that. I always forget to open that script, and so I always end up destroying my first run because I'm like, oops, I forgot to open this script up. It's really unfortunate. Hopefully in a future update they actually add that in. They talked about setting it up so that you could do that, but it hasn't been implemented yet. So, we're gonna make like Sia. That is one of my favorite jokes that I can actually make about this game.
Took me a second. Oh my god.
And this is the first boss fight. This is Hugo Baus. Hugo Baus.
No relation.
Baus.
No relation
Not
to
Boss.
Hugo Boss.
No relation to Hugo Boss. So this is the least RNG heavy of the bosses. There's still some RNG associated with this boss where he can jump to different corners depending on just total randomness. So this is the second phase. This is a little transition phase where he holds up these enemies that you have to you beat them by pinning them with pins from the TaylorMade. You'll notice how this looks a lot like an old school sewing machine.
Their suits are too loose, and so you have to tighten them.
Yep.
I never realized that's what the TaylorMade was doing, and I love that.
Yep. So there's like one specific thing with the To Die For that I don't actually know if Dane will ever get in this run, but if you drain enough color from people, like from the hydrant and then from the scooter guys that go around. The To Die For gets supercharged, and so
You're
it does
actually
a
going to
lot
see
of
that
extra
in this
damage.
fight.
Ah, perfect. Then I'm prescient, and I knew exactly what I was doing.
Yep, it was a test, and I passed.
Yep.
And one of the running gags that we have in my Twitch stream is Hugo will say random things, and one of the things that he'll say is either this is pocket change or these are rookie numbers. And so we'll sometimes run channel points bets about that. And one of these guys was actually still alive, which I was surprised. So I lost one of my supercharged shells, but it all ended up working out. I took a lot of damage in that fight, though.
Yeah, it's basically just a double shot with some extra damage, but
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
If we're
you,
really lucky, we'll see
dress
it in
him
the
right.
second boss fight, which is much harder to get that in. You have to get some pretty good RNG to get that lucky.
Yeah.
And so we're now at the point where Meta has seen nothing past this spot. This is he's going in
that is
totally
correct.
blind to this. So
Nice.
sometimes you have to go back into the overworld in order to go to the next level. It's like every 2 or 3 levels, depending on where you are in the game. Mission 4 was actually the subject of a speedrun competition that the developers held right before the game had its full release. So people could download level 4 and speedrun the specific level. And if I had known about it, I might have entered, but I did not know about it. Do a slight skip here if I'm lucky. Oh, I missed it. Okay. That's fine. You can jump over that
Can
gate.
you get
if
over the fence?
Yeah, you can get over the
Yes.
fence, but it's a very tight jump, and it's not a huge time loss, so not a big deal. But it's nice when you can get that.
I love that the entire start of this level so far has just been like grappling hooks.
Yeah,
Or
and we meet a
belt
new
hooks.
belt. So we meet a new enemy here. This is called Karen, and she says things like,
my
"I'd like to
God.
see the manager." I
She's
am dead
wearing
serious.
a
She
potato
is very
sack.
angry.
Yeah, she's wearing a potato sack, and you beat her by either hitting her with the TaylorMade or hitting her with the belt, and it tightens the fashion sack, the potato sack into a fashionable dress.
And she, one of her attacks is pepper spray.
Yeah, they
Lot of
they
memes in
nerfed
this
that
game.
in a recent patch.
Yeah,
But,
they nerfed it.
I think
but
you're
by-
down patched, right?
We have to down patch. They didn't try to screw up the speed run or anything like that, but they did a few. They made a few changes that ended up kind of being worse for the speed run. There's not a big difference in terms of time, but come on! Oh god, I'm stuck. It's not a big difference in terms of time, but it's like enough that I was like, all right, I'm gonna down patch because I want these 10 seconds back. Oh yeah, so we meet the German tourist here. His crime is socks with sandals, and so in order to beat him, you have to throw a sock gnome, which is this, and that will stun him and remove his socks.
It's great.
Lots of memes.
This is the hit scan enemy I was talking about, where they can hit you from anywhere and they do a ton of damage at higher difficulties.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the sock gnome just eats the socks.
Yep.
It steals the socks, but yes. So this is the only level that doesn't have any skips, actually, except for like the gate, but it doesn't have any out of bounds skips. I guess is the more accurate way to phrase that.
Yet.
We have looked pretty
Yet.
thoroughly, and we have not been able to find anything.
One thing that I think is really unique about like the balancing of this game is that you get like the infinite ammo, and then I guess they balance that out by having all the different enemy types use like different things. I don't know. I think that's really
Yeah.
interesting.
You have
Yeah.
to switch to different guns constantly.
Yeah.
You can never, except for the end of the game, can never ever use the same gun throughout the entire fight.
It's a really interesting way to achieve the same result that Doom Eternal wanted, but the way Doom Eternal went about it is just by limiting your ammo supply, and this game goes about it like a completely different way, which I think is cool.
So this is going to be a fun skip. So you remember the Fab Slap from level 1. We're going to do a skip involving that. So I threw a couple of sock gnomes at that tourist. We need to charge up the Fab Slap, which is almost completely charged, but we need to get just a little bit more on it. So I'm going to take out these 3 enemies. We charge the Fab Slap, or rather we start it. play through this animation, we slap this guy, and then we can just run and jump over this invisible wall, and that skips 80% of the level.
Oh my god!
Actually,
that's
a
amazing.
huge skip. So this level is only about 1 minute and 30 something seconds normally.
And you're fabulous the entire time.
Well, almost. It's hard to do this skip with the Fab Slap active, so I usually have to wait for it to expire, and then I can get up here. It's really kind of tricky to do that without being able to crouch jump. Oop. Charge this up. So this is the manager. We just skipped a humongous fight, by the way. Like multiple minutes of gameplay.
The manager is 2 people.
It's just,
the
it's just
manager-
dudes.
Yeah, it's 2 dull suits and a trench coat. Memes. I'm gonna say memes a lot. But yeah, you can get on top of that door without doing a crouch jump, but it's a lot harder. For whatever reason, crouch jumping makes a lot of skips a lot easier because when you crouch midair, you're not pushing your hitbox down, you're pulling the bottom of your hitbox up so you can climb over surfaces more easily if they're like just too tall, which is, I think, really, really funny that they did it that way. So now we go to mission 6. Whoops. And mission 6 is where things are gonna change. So we're going to get a
they bring you
weapon.
back to the overworld is so you can change your you can change your style.
Yeah.
Which gives you some upgrades.
After every couple
Oh,
levels, they
it's
give
like
you stuff.
actually.
Yeah.
You get like stat bonuses or something.
Yep.
You get some upgrades.
Nice.
Yeah. So one of the outfits that we get actually has you take less damage, which is going to be very useful for late game.
Everything, yeah.
So
Also, shout out to Drip Eternal.
oh yeah, this Drip Eternal is one of the things you'll see on the walls in here, which I love. So we're gonna get a weapon, and this weapon is responsible for this run being as short as it is. Imagine just phasing through walls, just at will.
Yeah, this
You'll see.
weapon cracks the game in half.
Yeah, little tiny pieces. So I'm gonna go for
a lot
gate
of things. A lot of things what this game does is it like puts something right behind a gate at the beginning of the level. It's like, ooh, look at this. It's the end of the level.
I've never gotten this. We're gonna see if I get it. Almost got it. All right. Sure.
Oh,
I've never gotten
that
that.
looked close.
Divine got it once and has never been able to replicate it. It is a very tough skip. Now, I normally could actually go back the way I came, but I'm going to purposefully go the long way just for dramatic effect. Oops, wrong way.
Also, this is super cool. So I come from a Doom background, which is like ballista or Gauss cannon. Like you shoot it and the recoil like puts you backwards. So you turn backwards and you shoot, and then you go flying quote unquote forwards. Whereas this, you get to just like you create like I guess you're creating a slip and slide. Is that what's going on?
Pretty much, yeah. You
You're
go
sliding on the
faster
floor.
because
Nice.
you
I
shoot the
love
ground in
that
front of you.
so much. That is so adorable.
So we're going to reload checkpoint to despawn some of those enemies. Now, normally you're supposed to cross these gaps, but we're going to just walk right up against this wall, fire the drip cannon at it, and we're going to get out of bounds.
Wait, what? Why does that work?
We don't have a solid answer.
Best
we
guess
we
is
have
that you fire
suspicions.
enough particles at the wall that it just deloads.
Yeah, that you're changing the texture of the wall basically, and so if you shoot enough texture at the wall, you can just skip it. Now it's called a drip clip, by the way.
Oh, it's kind of like the glue gun in
It's a little bit like the glue gun in Prey. Yeah, it's very similar to that.
Ah, very cool. I like that a lot.
And it also has an alt fire, which is nice, which does a lot more concentrated damage. So you have to do this
This
fight.
gun looks so awesome.
And on New Game Plus, you can actually get into the train early and soft lock the game.
Nice.
Oops, come on, switch. There we go.
The alt fire.
They have a,
of the,
do they
the
have
wet
a
ones.
Guy Fieri archvile?
Yes.
Yeah, he's kind of like an archvile. He doesn't spawn in new enemies, but he behaves very similarly to the archvile. Okay, oh, there you are.
And
Yeah,
he
so
looks like Guy Fieri.
these guys, you have to hit them with the alt fire of the TaylorMade, which is a grenade, and that stuns them enough that you can expand their suit.
Yeah, because
their
their
suit is
suit's
too
too
tight.
tight. Yeah.
Ah.
That's the premise behind that enemy. You don't meet them in the demo. And now mission 7. Mission 7 is my average in-game time for this is 34 seconds.
This is genuinely straight up one of the hardest things.
This is the hardest skip. I'm probably going to screw it up a few times.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Darn, I missed. The pillar jump there is really tight. It's really, really tight.
yeah. So
So-
the train is constantly moving.
No, the train is still. The tunnel's moving.
The tunnel's moving. Sorry.
Yeah.
And so
Classic.
if Dane is able to stop himself on part of the tunnel by clipping outside of it, like this, like we just saw, and then
And
he
we're
gets
at the
stuck
end
on
of the level.
platform, he just jumps to the end of the level. Yep.
Yo.
Because it comes to him.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
And I get to lay claim to finding that because nobody. I was this is like the only thing that I found because Divine found like everything else about this run, and so I get to claim. I get to say that I found that he found that particular setup like that you could clip out in that spot, but I found that skip like that you could do that skip like at all, and I'm planting my flag on that one because it's mine. I want it.
That's amazing.
It's ridiculously hard. It's the hardest strat in the game.
It
in my
is
opinion.
a very difficult strat. Yeah.
Yeah, I am absolutely gonna run this game now.
Yeah, so this is the second boss fight, and by far the best one out of all of them. We're just holding interact in space to skip a bunch of stuff. And this boss is named XX_uwu_senpai_swagman_XX.
Oh, he's an Xbox gamer. Okay.
He's an Xbox gamer.
Also, everything he does, everything he says is incredible.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and also, some of you that are more keenly eyed will probably notice that he is, in fact, holding the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII.
Dope.
So he has 3 phases that he does after you fully stun him. He does Neon, Grayscale, and Large. He always starts with Neon. That is fully consistent. The second one that he usually does is Large. Okay, he did Grayscale this time. And so you have to use one of your 3 attacks in order to do this. By the way, Meta, what is
This part's
your...
like kind of scary.
What is your favorite animal?
A red panda.
A red panda. Okay, I'm gonna remember that. I remember that. Now I didn't get a 1 cycle on that first phase. Not a big deal. This is just a marathon run, but in a PB run that would be a reset to not get a first cycle because there's RNG associated with this fight. It's the second heaviest RNG part of like out of all the boss fights, the second heaviest RNG. Oop, there it is. So that's his large phase. All right. So Meta, you said your favorite animal is a red panda. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. Okay. Do you know what my favorite animal is? It is a snake.
Oh my god, dude.
Yep. This is
What?
unskippable. You have to see this. So now he puts
Memes.
you in the Hacker Man's Matrix, and you have to run and jump through a lot of this. This is really easy.
Yeah, I love this part because it looks super impressive. It's dirt easy. It's so easy
Yeah.
to do, but it looks really impressive to do.
Yeah. The trick for later in the level is that the platforms change every time you jump, but
If you know where they are.
there's the exact amount of jumps that you have to make to get to the end. The platforms are laid out in that way, which is actually really nice of them.
Then we get to phase 2. So basically, at the end of these mid sections, we are destroying the servers that kind of keep him running. He's doing a lot of neon this run. He does not usually do this much neon, but we've been able to charge up the 2-die-4 enough that if we get a grayscale in a future phase, then we're going to do a massive amount of damage to him because that extra charge up is like big.
Grayscale is actually the worst. So since we didn't fully explain that, he's spraying him with water to make him start glitching out, and then when he glitches out, he picks one of 3 things to do. Grayscale is one of the worst, actually the worst that he can do, because TaylorMade has infinite ammo, so you don't have to reload it, and Neon Phase you can just right click and hold it down. But Grayscale you actually have to hit your shots.
But you can do a lot of damage with during his grayscale shots. So if you're pretty consistent,
Yeah.
he doesn't move around too much. You can actually do quite a bit of damage to him. All right, Meta.
Nice one, Phase.
My other favorite animal, for those of you that don't know, is a wolf. Einstein.
Oh my god. You did not just do that.
I did.
I've never played Wolfenstein 3D, but when I was playing this game, people were telling me that like this is pretty accurate to Wolfenstein 3D.
It is very
itself,
accurate,
so-
actually. Yeah, it feels very similar.
Even like the blue doors, like, and the sound, like, yeah, this is very.
And every room is 90-degree angles, nothing but. Okay, this is actually like unusual bad RNG because he can usually get in that doorway. Sometimes he's generous and he doesn't. But we just have to destroy those servers and then we destroy the actual IRL server, that one. And then we have to do one more phase, and that'll be the end of the fight. Wow, he is. Oops.
This is a
Fat
long
finger, my
boss
wrong
fight.
button.
Yeah, this is a really long boss fight. Thankfully, it doesn't feel too long.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is, I think, longer than the final fight, which is, but that's only because the final fight has a super special weapon.
Yeah, the final fight also has a couple forced sections.
Yeah.
that are kind of annoying. But this,
Kind of.
I'm gonna beg that you show off the parole ball for this, because this is my favorite one.
The which one?
The parole ball for Ubu Senpai Swagman.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm
It's
absolutely gonna
incredible.
show that. All right, so all of you that aren't behaving in chat, by the way, if you're not behaving, you're going to get the ban hammer. It may not look like much, but trust me, it's a big ban hammer. It even says ban on it, which is the best part.
Yeah.
It's literally the ban hammer. So he's gonna go center. Okay, so the way that this section goes is you have to wait for the slam. Welcome to the jam, and then you just break these sections. These were they used to just be red, and then after the update, they turned black, and then I down patched and they stayed black. It's really weird. It's not a big deal, but it's like a weird texture thing that happened. Oop,
Yeah, you have to. So the wet ones, you charge up the alt fire by left click firing it, and then you have to right click fire to break those. And then, of course,
Oh, Meta.
They do
what is your
this.
favorite FPS franchise? Is it Doom?
Doom,
Because for
obviously.
me, it's Call of Duty.
No way! Oh my god, that is a throwback. Holy crap. Yeah, snap.
yep,
All right.
it's incredible.
Memes. We've been saying it all
Memes.
wrong. We've been saying it all
Memes.
wrong. Memes. And then there's a cutscene here where Swagman Senpai, or whatever his name is, he becomes your ally. Yada, yada, yada. This is a lot of story stuff that you have to experience for yourself. All right, if you got Bone Zone, if you got Cat Jam, if you got anything, put it in chat, people.
Oh my god.
Check out his dance moves. All right, that's enough of that.
The song never resolves, and it annoys me so much. It's like just go into the
that's
drop.
The best song on the album. I don't care what anybody says. That's my favorite song on the album. I love that song.
But it's great. Yeah, Pro Bowls are great.
We get a new outfit here, but we're actually going to go back to the last one because the new one does default damage, and we want less damage. So we're actually going to downscale because it's better for us in the speed run. Now
It's better to do less damage?
it's better to take less damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I phrased that weird. I'm trying to do a speed run at the same time. And we're gonna meet a new enemy here. This is fat bald guy who wears Speedo. I don't remember his actual name, but you're supposed to use both the grenade gnomes and the tailor-made to beat him. You have to use two weapons to beat him. Now this part is a skip that is very difficult to do, so I'm going to try to focus as best I can. This is the one that has eaten a number of my runs. So we do this first jump here, squeeze underneath. Nice. There's an invisible ceiling that you can bonk into, and that will send you, all the way down. So we're at the end of the level now. It's a very fast section. Oh yeah, this is an enemy that we were supposed to meet in Mission 7, but we skipped all of Mission 7. So his premise is that he wears a trench coat and he could be concealing one of two different fashion crimes, either neon or grayscale, and so you have to adapt depending on which one he is, so to speak.
Yeah. And you can't actually shoot him until he opens his coat, but that's why Dane stunned him.
Yeah.
Because then that forces him to get hit.
Oh, somehow that guy didn't get defeated. And so what we did here by doing this route this way, we actually skipped a 3-minute auto scroller that is painful to have to do. So luckily we can skip both of those 3-minute. There's one in Mission 9 and one in Mission 10, and we have skips for both. The one for Mission 10 is the jankiest skip like ever. Divine and I spent forever.
Eclectic Boogaloo.
Yeah, Eclectic Boogaloo. Like we said, one of the levels is called Reap What You Sow. So it tells you, and it's one of the difficulties too. But we're gonna skip one of the 3-minute auto scrollers by doing a really janky skip. And Divine and I spent hours just bashing our heads into this wall to try to figure out how to skip it, because the skip is really weird and inconsistent at times. So I'm going to.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to charge up my Fab Slap here, just in case something goes wrong. It probably won't, but just a safety thing, because if we don't do this safely, we could end up having to do that auto scroller instead of skipping the whole level. So, what were you gonna say?
Oh, does the wet ones affect those bounce pads?
No.
No, it does not.
The bounce pads are actually somewhat random. Like sometimes they just won't give you full bounce. For whatever reason.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, when I was learning this game and this level on stream, Dane came in and tried to teach me how to do this skip, and I screwed the game up so badly that
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
I wound up soft locking myself and reverting to this area every single time.
Yeah,
Don't know
it was
what
a
happened.
pretty bad one. So this skip is a little tricky. Yep, it sometimes happens with this one. So you have to jump and land very close to the building, and the floor will load in here.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a weird one, but you have to be very close to the building to get it to work. So,
Yeah, so
this
you're now
is
in the
where we
out
do
of
this.
bounds.
Yeah, this is where we do the out of bounds. So we're going to drip clip right up against this door in this specific spot so that we hit the wall behind it. And if you don't, you go through it, and then you're in a different area. We're going to do a crouch jump, crouch, start watering the floor, and then when we fall through, uncrouch, forward, jump, and we're over here.
Holy
And you
Nice.
have to do those inputs in that order, or you will either fall through the floor or fall back down at street level, or just bad things happen. And the
That
area that
skip
we
was
just
awesome.
the area we just ran through is actually where that 3-minute auto scroller happens. But by going this way, we skip to the end of the level. Now, unfortunately, well, not the true end of the level. Unfortunately, the true end of the level is after this section, which is very annoying. There's no way to really skip this yet. But luckily, these
This looks sweet.
yeah, this is fun, but it's not exactly great for speedrunning.
Yeah, true.
So luckily, these spawns are fixed, and the game's still pretty new. So I'm still trying to remember exactly what the spawns are in what spot. But you have this turret right here that fires pins for the larger enemies and die bombs for the dull suits. And also, you can shoot this. You can shoot this truck, and it will give you mocktails, which are health pickups. So this is a long section that we can't skip. So I have to just kind of focus on hitting all these enemies. Yeah, they fly in on drones too for some reason.
Is it like an auto scroller?
Yep.
It is, well, you can speed it up if you do it really fast, but we just kind of refer to this as the auto scroller section because it's not really
Yeah.
It's on rails more than anything
Right.
else.
yeah, it's on rails. Is a good way of putting it. You can speed it up, but you can't really do much to speed it up.
It's also the way you have to shoot these enemies is really deceptively hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially with the drones, because they won't
move.
If you aim like you're aiming, like a mortar would in a traditional game, it just won't hit sometimes. And that's because the drones have such a weird like angle and hitbox.
But you notice how I fired and it shot out of the left side of the car? Like,
yeah, there's another gun over there. Don't worry about it.
We got a lot of dive bombs going out here. This is a big guy. Here, dive bomb.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this like this weekend if I have time, because this looks awesome.
Yeah, this game is so good.
Just don't play the high
like-
difficulty because it's really badly balanced.
Yeah,
I
Haute
usually
Couture
go
is
second
really difficult.
last.
That's probably a good one to do, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I made the mistake of doing the highest difficulty on my first playthrough, and I learned the hard way that the later fights were not balanced right.
For Doom, I don't mind going like hardest difficulty, but any other FPS game or just any kind of game in general, I usually go like the medium difficulty or the second last difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reap what you saw was fine. Like, you got to restart a few times, but you should get the hang of it pretty quickly if you're used to Doom and Doom likes.
It's not that bad. Oh, I did a resurrect in this level, by the way. I don't think we talked
we didn't
about
mention that.
Oh, did we? Okay,
I didn't mention it. But yeah, there's it used to be R, now it's I think right control and R.
Yeah, it's right control. It's T, and then it became right control and T in the latest patch because I guess they didn't want you to be able to use a debug feature, even though they left it in there on one key that's not even very far away from your home row keys. So now mission 11 is where we get a new weapon, but we're actually going to skip the weapon now. They're going to give it to us later. And I found a new setup for this recently, but I actually forgot what it was, so I have to go back and watch my VOD to remember. So we're just going to do the drift here. And we skipped 70% of the level?
Yep. This is the final section.
This looks very Vice City.
Very much, yeah. So this is also got an achievement on it. If you there's a golf ball. Oh, I missed. If you get a hole in one, you get an achievement, a Steam achievement for that. All right, so this is a very trivial fight if you get the weapon that they give you in this level, but we skipped it, so we have to do this fight the hard way, which isn't so bad because we have Resurrect. It'd be very difficult if we didn't have Resurrect. Oop, come on.
I'm so sorry. I think I missed it. What is Resurrect?
Resurrect is a debug
you die in the
tool
middle
that
of the fight and it just,
they left.
Yeah.
If you die mid-fight, you can just hit T and you'll respawn.
Nice.
So they broke my
It's unintended, but
barrels.
it makes it a little bit easier.
Okay, so we got Neon Bras here. Just like that. Resurrect.
Easy.
So you never have to worry about dying. Okay, where's the manager? There he is. Ooh, don't shoot the barrel. There we go.
I also love the announcer that screams something every time you take someone out.
Every time. Okay, I'm gonna try to bait these guys around the barrels to get them all at once. Nice, got them all.
And that works exactly like it's just any weapon.
It's an explosive barrel. Oh, yeah. We're doing the wrong thing. Resurrect. Make sure you don't hit R. Make sure you hit T. If you hit R, you reload checkpoint. And that is bad. And I've done that before. Yeah, you get the drip cannon, which shoots water, and so of course they give you a fire enemy because, you know, if you played Pokemon, you know that fire is weak to water. And that's the fight.
And it's literally just the Guy Fieri joke the whole time.
We skip some dialogue here, jump into the pipe, and we go to mission 12. And mission 12 has got some really, really, really unbalanced fights that were made a little bit better in the current patch, but we down patched, so it's just one of those things. Now, luckily, we can skip 80% of the level.
Yeah, something like that.
Do a drip clip right here.
You're supposed to go like backwards through the whole level, get the red scissors, which is just the key cards of this game.
Red scissors,
come
green
back here and-
scissors.
Yep. But you can just drip clip through the wall and then you're at the end. So
Yeah, that skips
close to the
about
end.
like 75%, and this is going to skip another 5. And the best part about this drip clip is as soon as you go through, you get a checkpoint. And we get to what's going to invariably be Meta's favorite part of the run when he starts learning this, is platforming.
The one parkour section in the whole game.
I really love movement. It's true.
Yeah. This is actually surprisingly hard. Because this is a first-person game, you can't really look at your feet all the time. And to make some of these jumps between platforms, you do almost, it feels like you have to coyote time them in order to get across. So all this movement that Dane's doing, I promise you, it looks like super easy. It's not. It's really easy to fall off. And if you fall off, you have to go all the way back to the beginning.
Especially that one right there is a little bit difficult. And also for you all to know, this game does have coyote time of 4 frames. And I missed.
Yeah.
You get 4 frames of coyote time. That's it. Basically, just over the time it takes to blink your eyes once. Not fun. My PB, by the way, got this like all first try. I'm very disappointed that I missed.
Yeah, when I was playing the game, I got all this first time. I was like, this is really easy. And then I tried to do it in runs, and it's just this part is impossible.
So the intended way for you to progress is to go through the vents up here. So we do a bunch of fancy platforming. And what does every cruise ship need? A ski resort?
What?
A ski resort. Oh, now there was an enemy we met.
Wild.
Yeah, there's an enemy we met at the beginning of this level called the Gimp, and he can chain you up. You're supposed to do a fight here, but if we get into this spot, drip clip at the floor, we can get. Can you stop? Thank you. And then we get through. We also skipped another enemy entirely, which plays EDM music, which is funny. Now we got a new weapon during the.
Holy crap.
It is the rocket launcher.
My
In the
God.
game, it is called the BFG, the Big Fashionable Gun. I am not making this up. Okay, I gotta get these
its
guys
name-
away from me.
Its name on your bar is the Wardrobe, which is
Yeah.
great. Yeah, this specifically is the fight that in higher difficulties is horrendously unbalanced. Like you have to save pretty much all your wardrobe ammo for this, and then just pray that everything flying around doesn't kill you.
They
thankfully
didn't exactly
with the,
set up a system to prevent multiple enemies from dogpiling you, so it's...
Yeah. Thankfully with the Resurrect hotkey, it's like not as bad, obviously,
It's very
but
annoying,
you know, if you want to play the game quote unquote legit, it's you gotta really know what you're doing.
Okay, and this is the last phase. Gotta wait a second for the objective markers to spawn in, and that's the fight.
Nice.
And so we used up all 4 of our rockets in that fight, but luckily they give 2 of you back when you go into the next level, and the next level is the final boss. We're already at the final boss. Yep.
Damn.
It's a short one. Now, unfortunately, the final boss is the most RNG heavy of the bosses. This is Turncoat, and he rides a drone that you're supposed to, get wet with the drip cannon, and then he falls down, and then you're supposed to do a phase where he wears a flame suit, and then he wears a really brightly colored trench coat, or a raincoat rather, and we're just gonna skip through those phases with a rocket, because luckily we can. Now the timing is really precise on this, so... Got him.
Nice.
Nice.
That timing is actually really precise, and I have missed it before, and I had a PB once that missed it, and I still got a PB somehow. So I had a big fat time save for free when I went back to do another run.
Let's see how you fret.
So, nah, not yet.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is he regenning health?
No, he has 2 health bars. So he has like he has.
okay.
You could think of it like an armor bar and a health bar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
The drone is a separate health bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're taking him out, you're knocking him down, then you can actually do damage to his health
Right.
bar.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
I do wish it was a little more obvious, because it's kind of difficult to figure out the first time. But one of the things that's really nice about this game in general, and I only saw it happen a couple times in this run, but if you're using the wrong weapon for an enemy, like if you forgot or something, or you just don't know, your partner will call you and say, "Hey, use this gun."
Yeah. And so we're supposed to use the Fab Slap on him, but there's a story reason for why we can't, and I'll be honest with you, I don't remember what it is. Something about he invented it, and so it won't attack its owner. I don't remember. But basically, he turns you into a dull suit. So we are the dull suit enemy now that we've been fighting all game long. So we have to throw our briefcases at these Dezes. Oh yeah, the main character's name is Desmond. I don't think we ever said that. So we have to throw the suitcase at ourselves to defeat ourselves.
Oh man, this is deep. This is too deep for me.
There's a big plot twist in the game. Just play it through yourself all the way through one time so you see what the jokes are. Because we skip a lot of the jokes in the speed run.
You're gonna see the final boss, and you're not gonna understand it. So
Yeah.
Can confirm, as someone who has not seen this run or the game, I don't really know what's going on, but I love it.
So we do another one of those little goofy phases. I call this section Tony Hawk's Pro Scooter.
and now you're
Now we're in Neon Bra.
Neon Bra. Yep. And you got
we
to
have
do
to-
tricks.
Yeah, we have to do tricks. We have to score 10,000 points and take out the 4 Dezes. Luckily on easy mode, that's really easy because it's only 10,000 points. On the hardest difficulty, it's 120,000 points.
Jeez.
It's grindy.
You lose points if you fall in the ether here.
Yeah.
Which is not great.
This boss is unique.
It's a very unique boss, but it's also really we haven't gotten to the really RNG section yet. That's going to be coming up next. But because we have the wardrobe, we can take out the first multiple phases in 4 minutes, and then the last phase by itself is 3 minutes, just by itself. It's a very long phase. It's because we are at the mercy of RNG, sadly. So there's a plot twist here with the turncoat and that guy, and it's a thing. But basically, he becomes the guardian from the Evil Within 2. You remember that enemy when it was made up of body parts of multiple corpses? It's basically that. So now the only way to actually do damage to him is to shoot him with rockets. Unfortunately, we don't have any rockets. We have to get those called in from Haley, the ancillary character that's has been feeding us information all game long. And the problem is that he's doing this scissor attack. This scissor attack is his longest attack, and he will not send in a first wave, Haley will not send in a first wave of supplies until he's done 3 attacks. Well, if he's doing the longest attacks, it's gonna take a while to actually get ammo for it. You're supposed to whip the pincushion, bounce up.
Nice.
Do you know if splitting the rockets there is better, or?
Yes, it does a lot more damage.
Okay.
You split the rockets. Now, she actually brought in another wave already, which is nice. He didn't do a phase change yet. Oop. Please. Unfortunately, getting rockets doesn't really do us much good unless we can jump up there. And apparently, this was just recently discovered by my resident trainer developer. You can jump on top of the wall here and then just shoot him. Doesn't really have much utility in any percent, but in New Game Plus, it makes this fight fast. Because in New Game Plus, you have infinite wardrobe ammo.
Yo.
Yeah, New Game Plus
New Game Plus
fast.
is really fast.
It's really fast.
How much time save is in like New Game Plus compared to any percent?
12 minutes.
It's at least,
Like across.
I was gonna say
Holy
at least
crap.
10 minutes.
Almost a minute per level.
Yeah, because
So,
you have the full wardrobe the entire time. You don't have to you have the wet ones straight from the beginning, so you can do drip clips on the first 4 levels.
Right.
And you get a speed and height
man.
boost for jumping by default. So combine that with the drip cannon and you go really fast.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So luckily, Haley dropped another load before the phase change happens. So that scream, that's him indicating he's going through a phase change. And every time he does a phase change, it takes one more attack before Haley will bring in another round of stuff. So I've actually got really good RNG this run, which is funny because I was over 3 minutes behind my PB going into this fight.
I was going to say, I believe Corvame, who also wrote an auto splitter of this game, decompiled a ton of the code, and she found out that like Haley is less likely to drop ammo just in general as you get later into the fight.
Well, it's not that she's less likely to; it's that it takes more attacks to for her to drop ammo. So it starts with 3 in the first phase, and then by the end, I think it takes 6 attacks before she'll drop ammo. And doing the scissor attack again, which takes for freaking her. And he did it twice in a row too. What a jerk!
This is ordinarily a very stressful fight, but like with the low difficulty, it'd be just the free resurrections. You just kind of like.
There we go.
The worst thing is when he does pin cushions, which is the only way that you can hurt Turncoat, and then Haley drops ammo because the pin cushions go away. Oh, never mind. Got one just in time.
Goodbye. So time is going to be coming up when we get to the load screen. Oh yeah, we shot him, we turned him fashionable, and look at what a dapper man he is now. And time.
Nice. Well done. That was awesome.
That is Fashion Police Squad any percent. This run, I mean, it's only been out for a little while, but it's already been broken to pieces, and I don't think there's actually much time save we can squeeze left out of it. It's pretty much is pretty. I mean, there may be something out there, but we've hammered this rundown already really fast. So hopefully, in a future Aimbot episode, I can come back and show you New Game Plus. That'll be fun.
Or 100%.
Or 100%. Although I haven't learned 100% yet. That's a long run. That's a very long run.
Yeah.
Shout outs. I have to give 2 ginormous shout outs to Divine and Oniric, Sam, 2 of my VIPs in my Twitch channel. Sam made the load remover that I use, and load remover and auto splitter that I use for this run. He made the trainer that has a collision viewer, fly mode. He did everything. This game is made on Unity, by the way, which Meta can tell you firsthand it's harder to make an auto splitter for Unity. Apparently, I don't know anything about making auto splitters, but he can verify it's harder. And Sam, I think, did it in like a day because he's a game dev by trade, so he knows how to break stuff very, very quickly. So I have to give a massive shout out to Sam for that, and also to Divine, who routed 85% of this run. He routed. He doesn't do runs himself, by the way. Like he's not interested in doing runs. He just wanted to route it for me to do the runs. So it's like he'll make a bunch of route stuff. He'll post videos of it, and then I'll just follow what he does in the video, and I'll do it. And so like he did like 85% of the route, and then I did, I think, like 14%, and then the last 1% was just like random odds and ends from other runs that we've seen. So I have to give like the biggest shout outs to those 2, because without them, I literally would never have gotten this run in the 42 range already. Like, it's actually insane how fast it was able to be broken, and it's only because of those 2 that we were able to break it this much this quickly. And then I always have to give a shout out to GDQ and HotFix and Amerlin and Aimbot for having me on, because GDQ does wonderful work in raising money for charity, and I urge you all to, if you can't attend a GDQ or SGDQ, to at least consider making donations when those roll around, because it's a great cause. The great causes that they do stuff for, and they even provide you content in the off season with HotFix. How generous is that? So I gotta say thank you, Amerlin, and thank you, GDQ, for having me on.
Of course. And before you go, we had a request from chat. Do you have secrets unlocked on any of your files?
Yes.
We show off a couple of the pictures.
We can indeed. Oh, and then one more shout out. I have to give a shout out to Mr. Meta Live for always couching forever. I get meta for every run that I do for GDQ for every marathon because he even if he doesn't know the run, he knows what questions to ask, and he's a great member of the couch to have. So I gotta say thank you, Meta, for being my
Credits to
friend.
you for always having me on. It's awesome, dude.
All right, I have to load up the thing, and then what is it? It's tab. So these are the secrets that you find going through the game. So like you jump over a fence and you go around a corner and it'll say secret unlocked, and it's a picture of Dez in an outfit on the wall. And so this is Laser Skater. Pineapple is fresh out of the 70s, which is a great one. This is Final Fantasy.
This is awakening something in me.
There's a lot of great pictures. I think Title Couture is one of my favorite.
Title Couture is a good one. It's yeah. I do like Spikes because this is just insane for no reason. I do like that one. Name's Brown. I think you can figure out who this is supposed to be. I do like this one, Fashion Prince Squad. Also looks ridiculous. This one is I'm Gagaing.
Classic reference to Lady Gaga.
Dorito on his head, something like that.
I think it's a reference to an outfit she wore.
I don't know what it is. This is Bizarre Style. For those of you that are fans of JoJo, you recognize.
Oh, nice.
It's Jotaro. And actually, if we go back to the top of the list, this is Baller. We actually started at the middle of the list. It started me at the bottom for some reason. So this is Baller. You got Flashy Bra. Don't wear that. Lay Epic Gamer, and if you can't read that, it says relationship status, single, taken, or gamer. There's Loose Suit. This is just the standard Loose Suit enemy that you find. This is Luke Dukem. Luke.
No relation.
No relation.
Different guy.
Different guy. You got Moogburn. This guy actually in this outfit, he looks a little bit like what's his name? The guy from the Resident Evil Netflix show. Lance Reddick.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he looks a little bit like Lance Reddick in this particular outfit on, which is funny. This is Pop Dat Kala. Very large collar to pop. Also, you'll notice he's wearing like 7 shirts, like 7 polos. All of them with their collars popped. This is Car Mechanic. That's what I wear on Friday night. Yep. This is Blue Steel.
Oh my god.
You'll notice he is actually doing the blue steel.
He's actually doing the blue steel in this picture. It's just great.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Street Biter. Those of you that know. This is Turo Haparo. I actually don't know what the reference is to this one. I'm sure somebody knows the reference to this. I don't know. This little bit of pop culture slid by me. This is 2015. I am a little offended that they put that hairstyle on him and called it bad fashion because...
I think that's Katy Perry.
That's a Cowboy. You got Fantasy Casual. This looks like He-Man in this one. Glam. Definitely not an 80s rock star. I do like You're a Wizard. And this is the kind of attention to detail that we want to note. On his shoulder, his owl is a sock gnome, the grenade enemy, or the grenade weapon, and then he's also got a little scar on his forehead too. Attention detail.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he's got a little scar on his forehead. This is Tingler. I'm scared.
Tingler's great.
The Boulder. You got that one pretty quickly. That one took me a minute. It took me a second. I was like, wait, what is that? And then I realized you picked it up faster than I did.
That was instantaneous.
Yeah, Men on Games. Still don't know what this one is.
I think
Captain
that's a Men at
Sly.
Work reference.
Oh, that would make sense, yeah. I got Captain Sly. This is Tyrone.
Just gonna move past that one.
And then we're back to later skaters. So that's all the outfits. I hope you enjoyed them.
Those are awesome. I didn't even know those existed.
Yeah,
These secrets are great.
Yeah, it's the only things that are secrets in the game. So you know as soon as you see one what it is, but we skip them all in any percent. So. But
We also get a comment from Dez where he's like, "Ugh, I wouldn't wear that."
Oh yeah, when he finds them, he's like, "Yeah, it's not for me, dog." Like, he'll like make a comment.
He he thinks that there are people like putting them up around the city to like make fun of him, which is incredible.
But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you liked the run and have fun watching Bugsnax coming up next. So thank you, Emerlin.
Yeah, and I've got a couple announcements before we go to break. Like I said, like Dane said earlier, GDQ 2023 Online will be January 8th to the 15th. Game submissions are open until tomorrow, September 21st, and event volunteer applications are open until Saturday, September 24th. So head to gamesdonequick.com for more info. Like I said, I'm new to the games committee this time around, so I'd love to see your submissions, love to see more people get them in so I can get new things into the marathon. And your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered help support Games Done Quick on this channel, both with HotFix and with the costs for AGDQ 2023, because we did shift to online instead of in person. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy this content and you want to help us out. And with that, we're going to a quick break, and we'll be right back with Bugsnax by Conception. All right, welcome back to AIMBOT, everybody. A couple quick announcements before we hop into this run. If you want to follow what Games Done Quick is up to, exclamation point links in Twitch chat for all things GDQ. And as a reminder, AGDQ 2023 is online from January 8th to the 15th. Game submissions open until tomorrow night at midnight. Volunteer applications open until Saturday, September 24th. If you want to come work with me, I produce at the event. I'm also one of the games committee members. I have a ton of fun doing these events. So come work with us and check it out. So up next to complete this quirky FPS night, we've got Conception running Bugsnax, no major skips. Conception, take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to be a part of AIMBOT. That is something I didn't think I would say as somebody who does not run the traditional FPS, but Bugsnax sneaks under the wire on this funky Tuesday. So I appreciate it. And also wanted to say congrats to Amy for getting in on that games committee. That was huge news. So GG's on that, friend. So Bugsnax. Here we are. We're going to be doing no major skips. I've run any percent on this channel across different shows before, which is a very different run. We go out of bounds a lot in that run. We use a lot of exploits. We finish the run in like 17 minutes. This one's a little bit longer. We're going to be basically doing the game as intended, quote unquote, which this category could also just be called no loading zones early, but that's a little wordy. So first, let's have Amy pick me a color between orange, yellow, green, or black as to what our character could be.
Orange, yellow, green, or black? Green.
Great choice. That's my favorite color. All right. So timing's a little bit weird. I'm going to load in and I'll just do my best to cue you in on the clock because it's kind of on load in instead of new game. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. That was a little rushed at the end. My bad. I tried to time it out as best as I could. Okay, so Bugsnax. What is this game? This right here is a Bugsnax. Right here on my little mic stand. That's a Strabby. And Bugsnax are bugs and snacks, and that's just how it is. So we're going to be doing since it is no major skips, we're naturally going to be starting with a somewhat major skip, I would say. The first and only real skip in this game that we're going to do is right here. As you can see, I'm out of bounds, walking on absolutely nothing. I'm going to come over here, jump on this tree. And what this skips is actually no gameplay at all. It just skips a very long cutscene, about 3 minutes long. And we get right to the missions, which is what we really would like to do. We're going to scan that Strabby, talk to our good friend Philbo here. I'll kind of explain, I'll do my best to explain what the lore that's going on here, because I definitely would love for more people to check this game out. It is an absolute gem. We're going to catch our very first Bugsnax and feed it to Philbo right away. That's right, they eat these giant Bugsnax, and then we're going to do a couple of quick catches here. So we're first going to be very sneaky, throw that trap there. All right, we got one. We're going to jump up here and be still a little bit sneaky, keeping an eye on that Strabby there. Throw the trap. And then we're going to do a quick jump and hopefully get this. Yeah, that's how you do it. All right, so we catch all 3 of those snacks back to back. Basically, we're doing all of the story quests, again, as intended. I could very easily get out of bounds and be basically halfway done with run by the end of this little segment here. So we're not gonna be doing that. We're gonna be doing all of the quests as intended. So we get a first quest here with Philbo to feed 1 Bugsnax and then 3 Bugsnax. It doesn't matter what they are. So we just pick the 3 quickest and then on we go to Garden Grove. Garden Grove. Garden Grove is a section of the game that does not change no matter what category you're playing. Even if you're playing the any percent category, you can get out of bounds here. However, the loading zones will not activate at all until you complete the quests in this area. So even if you wanted to get out of bounds, it doesn't help. So we're going to be doing this largely the same as we would in any category, but that doesn't mean that there isn't, it's fair bit of tech here that I'm going to try to pull off. So first we're going to get our FPS action in here right away. Now we got our slingshot, so we're going to grab some ketchup, we're going to fling, look at that, it's an FPS show. All right, and then we're going to fling one there and one there. I'll explain a little bit about what that is here. I'm going to be trying to catch a Bugsnax through the floor. Got it. Ooh, you love to see that. That goes exactly as planned. The alternative there, so the Bugsnax I just caught through the floor, you might have caught it, is a Frider. Friders are naturally attracted to ketchup. Hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. There we go. So the alternative there is to throw some ketchup on the floor so it comes down from the ceiling, and then you capture it that way, but that is awfully slow. We don't want to have to do that. So we move on to catching all the Bugsnax that we need, and then we're going to turn in all the quests at once. That's going to be a very common pattern here. The game is very generous and allows you to do anything in pretty much any quests in the area in any order that you want, and then you can just mass turn them in, kind of like it's like, I don't know, World of Warcraft or something like that, as opposed to having to do a quest, run back, do a quest, run back. So it at least is a little bit generous that way. The rest of this little bit of a section here is mainly just tutorial-like stuff. We're going to run super fast here. We're going to get around Philbo. He moves a little slow for our liking. We're going to run into this little cove, grab that book, and then basically that book is a journal that is it's our start menu, essentially. It's where we can use our map and fast travel and look at our Bugsnax and look at our clues and all that. So the game is just teaching us how to use it, but we catch it while we can. Worth noting, I am playing on the PlayStation 5 version of this game. You can play this game on literally any system now. At first, it was only for PlayStation and for Epic Games Store PC. However, now it is on Steam. It is on all kinds of different things. Yeah, it's definitely accessible now. The only major difference is that, you know, when you're playing on console, you got to do a lot of mashing. It's unfortunate, but it's true. On PC, what players will tend to do is bind scrolling to the mouse wheel, so that they do not have to worry about pressing a button. They'll just, you know, scroll the mouse wheel up and down, and that they're able to get through text a lot faster than me just trying my darndest to get through it. So it's a little bit faster that way.
The true G502 experience.
Yep. Oops. There we go. Yeah, I am a little bit jealous of that, but I was lucky enough to get a PS5 at launch somehow. So I've had it since the day the system came out, and that I was looking for games to play. They didn't have a lot of games to play at the time, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna play Bugsnax. So naturally, I'm gonna play it the way that I can, which is on PlayStation, and it was free when the PlayStation 5 came out at the time. It was one of the PS Plus games. So naturally, I elected to play it for free, got used to it that way, and then I haven't looked back. All right, we're immediately doing some parkour here, getting some quests done for Beffica. You can see there's quite literally a colorful cast of characters here. And what we're doing is they're all split up across different biomes in the game, and we need to get them to return by doing various quests. And then that will help progress the story in a natural way. So there's basically 12 different people that we have to get to return, and we will be doing them as fast as we can. Now, one great feature here. So you can see here I'm fast traveling from the menu. That was not always the case. For the longest time, we could not do that. Then it was patched into the PC version of the game only for a while, and console did not have it all the way until a very recent content update called the Isle of Bugsnax came out, and then everyone then had access to fast travel, and that saves us a lot of time in this category because there's a lot of walking back and forth that we would have to do. But luckily, we do not have to do that anymore, so we can fast travel when appropriate. But those 3 quests are down. Beffica is now returned, so we've gotten those 3 back exactly. Philbo, Wambus, the farmer, and Beffica, who's characteristically like a gossiper. She's nosy. She likes to get in people's business and find out their secrets and stuff like that. We're going to meet a few more characters here, and we're going to be introduced to some excellent vocals. But first, we're going to meet our dear friend Floofty. Now, Floofty is a non-binary grumpus. Grumpus is the type of creature that they are, these furry humanoid creatures. And Floofty is non-binary and uses they, them pronouns. So that is pretty cool.
Very good.
We are going to see a little bit more of Floofty later. We don't even know that their name is Floofty at that point, but I've played this game once or twice. And then we're going to meet both Gramble and Wiggle and just enjoy the dulcet tones for a second. She did not have to go that hard for us, but she did, you know? Give that voice actress all the awards. But that is Wiggle. Wiggle is a one-hit wonder sensation in the pop music world, and this is Gramble, who is, I like to affectionately refer to him as the Bugsnax vegan. Very against eating Bugsnax, unlike the rest of the crew, and instead of eating Bugsnax, likes to take care of them in a farm, a little sanctuary. That is going to make some complications for us. We have a new tool here that is called the Buggy Ball. Now, what the game intends for us to do there is take the Buggy Ball through a maze in order for us to learn how to use said Buggy Ball. We are not going to be doing that. You can just use target the Buggy Ball at the end of the maze, and it will complete it automatically, which is pretty handy. So while it's completing the maze, we're going to be doing a few necessary catches in order to expedite this process. I'm going to try to throw some strategic chocolate. That is a thing. All right, let's see. That worked out okay. Not as fast as I would have liked. Oh, I didn't need both, but okay. I got the crapple too. We'll take that. I just needed the Pinantula. We're going to throw that there. And now that the Buggy Ball is completed its course, we're going to launch it there. And you'll see what that trap is for as well here shortly. But for now, we're going to talk to Wiggle. All right, so Wiggle first wants to turn her hair into a Pinantula, styling. Already throwing it back to Fashion Police Squad here. Excellent run, by the way. That was really well done by Dane. And of course, we're going to turn her hand into a grape, because what else are you going to do? All right, so that is going to launch an orange peel bug. Please give me that. And we're going to put a ball here. I'm going to very carefully place some chocolate on said ball, because there is a quest for Gramble to get 2 Queebles to him. However, again, vegan, so not really into the whole idea of trapping Bugsnax. Not really his jam. So we have to get them there the old-fashioned way, which is by luring them. Now, this is really complicated to do with 2, especially if they get really close to each other. As long as they get up this hill, we're fine, and we're fine because they got up there. But they love to run into each other and spook each other and create problems, but we just like that right at the end. But they're already up here, so we don't have to worry about it too much. And we can talk to Gramble here to start completing the quest line. Now, he has to walk over here anyway, so we're going to take the liberty of sleeping until noon because it doesn't slow down any of the other process. We have to wait for that last Queeble to get in here. Come on. There we go. The reason why we wanted to sleep until noon there, by the way, is if currently we were in a nighttime cycle, and that doesn't really affect anything too much in terms of the speed run. The only thing it affects is that the people that are already back in the town, they would not be in walking around, they would be asleep. And you have to wake them up, and that is a long animation. It's usually about 5 seconds per time you have to wake them up, so we just try to mitigate that as much as we possibly can. Luckily enough for us, the game stays on a consistent pattern from when you start a new file to when you continue to go, so we know specific times as to when we can sleep that it's most optimal. Now, fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, we're in the first of what I call parties or celebrations that occur in the No Major Skips run here. So whenever you get a certain amount of people back, so for example, we have Gramble back now, we have Beffica, Wambus, Bilbo, they're all back. Philbo's going to start getting a little bit more progressively more and more excited, and he's going to want to throw these little parties because the gang's all getting back together, and he's getting pretty psyched up about it. They are not really anything more than glorified cutscenes, unfortunately, though, and they tend to be pretty long because they explain a lot of lore. They're meant to set up lore pieces as to where the next characters are, what's going on in the story. They're kind of like little chapter checkpoints. Nothing I can do to accelerate the dialogue, nothing I can do besides just sit here and let them finish. Now, the first one is faster than the other ones, so this one isn't too long, but the second one, which is called Ghost Stories, is really long. We'll get there, but this one is already almost over. I thought I had all three.
Don't you mean...
It's become a meme to try to stack the flaming cups on top of the fire while we're waiting for this to complete. But I've only been able to get all four one time. It's really tough. All right. We also find out here, very important distinction in case you're wondering, we're somehow allergic to Bugsnax, so we can't eat them. In case you're wondering, how we get around that whole deal. We don't have to worry about it because we're allergic to Bugsnax. Presumably we just eat sauce or something. I don't really know. But we're not eating the Bugsnax. Everyone else is. That'll come into play later, perhaps. Now, we're in a new area called Scorched Gorge. This one is probably one of the more complicated areas to set up things. First, I'm going to throw a trap here. That Scorpion's going to throw a fireball. I'm going to make sure. I don't think I got the second. Did I get both? Well, we'll find out here in a second. I need to. Well, I'm going to take the liberty of capturing this now. That was not intended for it to go that way, but you'll see perhaps in a little bit that the pop ticks. Okay, the other one's over there, so that's fine. They're a little bit annoying to catch, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're gonna jump up here after we open up that door. We're gonna do a little cheesing in more ways than one. If I can get the trap to set up. Nope. We're gonna do it on this side, perhaps. Nope. Okay, we're gonna try again on this side. There we go. That looks good. We're gonna catch a cheap move that way. We're gonna do a second round of cheesing. Nope. We're gonna miss that cycle and we're gonna fall down entirely, I guess. Feels bad. We're gonna catch this Ribblepede off the ground here. That Spuddy is gonna try to ruin my life. We're gonna hit unnecessarily dialogue here, but it doesn't waste a lot of time. He's gonna run over there. We're gonna try and run back and get that sheep hoof real quick. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna get it later. Since I fell down, it's actually not faster to do it now. So this is the Cromdo. Cromdo is how I disaffectionately refer to Cromdo as kind of like the used car salesman of Bugsnax here. He's a scam artist. He tries to rip people off with all kinds of various schemes and stuff like that. So he's not the most trustworthy guy. But he does give us one of the most useful tools in the game, which is the launch pad. So we got ways to launch our traps at a distance now, which is very good because we need to catch some things just that way. First, we're gonna get that sweet frieder. Luckily enough for us, the wind blows the trap off, so we don't have to worry about getting it. While we're set up in a good cycle here, we're gonna get this door unlocked. I bet he's gonna fall just short. Oh no, he got it. Excellent. You know what? Let's get the shy weenie worm here. We need to get a shy weenie worm anyway. I'm just waiting for it to get in my trap ever so slowly. There we go. Fun fact, that is called the shy weenie worm. Not only because it's shy and hides in caves and stuff like that, but it mimics a Chicago hot dog, which doesn't have ketchup on it. Oh yeah, I forgot I had the crapple here.
Oh my god, I didn't catch that the first time around when I played.
Yeah, no one does. That one's a fun fact for me. And another fun fact about that too is if you do put ketchup on it, it grows really big and gets really mad because you do not put ketchup on a Chicago hot dog, and everybody knows this. So do not even try it. I have to go back. I'm all thrown off here because I caught that extra crapple, and also because I missed this cycle on the cheap hoof here, but we got it fixed. It's just a little slower than I would have liked. Not a big deal. We don't need any of those guys, so we're gonna run right past them. And we got our third of 3 cheap hoofs necessary. We're gonna go turn that into Cromdo. Now you're gonna see a pattern for these early biomes is very much that there's gonna be 2 characters in each biome, one of which is completely accessible to like everything that's within the biome, basically. Like I can finish a quest line with all the Bugsnax that are within the biome. And the other one is gonna require a Bugsnax that's not in the biome yet. So, for example, in the first one where Wiggle and Gramble were, I was able to get Gramble to come back, but Wiggle requires pop ticks, which are only in this area. So I couldn't finish Wiggle yet. Now, Cromdo, I finished all the quests that I could, but he now needs Bopsicles, which I do not have yet. But luckily enough, we get to meet Triffany here, who is Wambus's wife and an archaeologist. She is pretty cool, and she's also from the Midwest, it seems, because she has that Minnesota accent. She's gonna run to the ruins. I'm gonna try to make a break for it and catch this other pop tick. Luckily enough for me, it's in a good position, but they are really tough to catch. I got it, nice. And then while she was running there, I caught the pop tick. So I had to wait for her to get here anyway, so it wastes very minimal time. Now I have to wait for her to run back anyway, so. Normally what we do is we catch both pop ticks up like that, and then I'll catch one on the way there, and I'll catch the other on the way back. Dude! Are you kidding? Thank you. You're ruining me. All right. Spuddies are very frustrating a lot of the time. All right. Shy Weenie Worm, and then Triffany's gonna come back to camp for us. All right. And good. Now we're gonna make a quick warp over to Simmering Springs where we were before, because if you remember, I said Wiggle needs 2 pop ticks. I now have 2 pop ticks, so we're gonna make our way over to Wiggle. Get her to come back as well. So if you're counting at home, I believe that is 6. Oops, 6 of the 12 already back. So we schmoove in this run for sure. We cut through it, and then we're gonna head back to Snacksburg here, and we're already gonna be at party number 2. All right, so we got to go here. One thing, so the DLC didn't really affect this run so much, besides this cutscene here, which adds about 15 or 20 seconds to the run, but it's saved by the fact that we have fast travel now. It adds, the game added the ability for us to customize a hut of our own using furniture with all these quests and stuff like that. So Philbo has to tell us all about this, wastes a little bit of time. But from there, we get to party number 2. Now, this is Ghost Stories. I kid you not, this is basically an 8-minute cutscene where I don't do much besides move from one place to another. So we get to chill, we get to have fun, we get to talk to each other a little bit. Hope you're all enjoying Bugsnax so far. I kind of alluded to it already. Bugsnax is a game that has a very diverse cast in terms of LGBTQIA2+ representation. We talked about Floofty already, who is a non-binary character, uses they/them pronouns. Excellent. We also have, we're about to meet 2 new characters in this cutscene, Chanlo and Snorpy. They are in a relationship, and they are both male. And we also have another relationship in this game that's more of an in-game relationship between Eggabell and Lizbert, who was in charge of this whole camp before things got a little bit messy. And they are also in a relationship, and both females. So this game does a really good job of like showcasing loving relationships in the LGBTQIA2+ communities. Without it being, you know, it just exists. It just is. So it's really nice to see. One of the reasons why I really loved this game when it came out, just kind of captured me in that way. But highly suggest playing it. Like I said, it's everywhere now. You can play it on the Switch. I believe it's on Game Pass for both PC and Xbox, so you can play it there. It's obviously on PlayStation, as I'm playing it there now. Who's that? All right, never mind. And it is also on. It is not. If you're not crazy about Epic Games Store, don't worry. It is on Steam as well, so you can play it on both. So we get to move ever so slightly here to get a log for the fire, and then come back, and then we're sitting again. So
Triffany, you were saying
still
something
sitting
about
here.
the zombies?
This game is queer, and we love that. Absolutely, yes. It is. It's really fun. Ghost Stories like that anime, not like that one. No. They're over here talking about some monster or the queen of Bugsnax. I don't know anything about all that. I'm not really paying attention. So
obviously we're not
none of that.
to make it to snack too.
But allow me to tell you a little bit about different categories you can run here as well. By the way, so this is no major skips. As you can see, the estimate's like right around the 115 mark. Optimistically, it's a little bit lower than that even. I had the pleasure of running Bugsnax any percent actually as a part of Amy's One and Done-a-thon, the first iteration. So I was part of the inaugural class. That run is a lot shorter. That is like a set up top about a 17, 18-ish minute run, depending. So it's a nice quick run if you're looking for something to get into that's a little bit on the faster side. And then
it was a great run too.
Hey, thanks. I'm glad you liked it. But unfortunately, I'm dead now because I got erased from the board, and you know that's just how it goes.
Goodbye forever.
Yeah, goodbye forever. It can no longer be shown. So don't try to run it because you can't. It's gone. Then we have this category, of course, which is basically like the inbounds category.
Don't mess with my head.
We have 100%. Now 100%, it's gotten a little bit more complicated with the DLC. So basically what we decided to do on the board is split it between the base game and the DLC. The reason why it complicates it, because it not only adds a new area to the game with its own Bugsnax, that's actually pretty self-explanatory, but it adds what we call mail quests, which is how you earn the furniture that you can put in your hut by doing these mail quests. It adds 110 mail quests. It adds also Bugsnax hats. So maybe if we're lucky, we'll see one. Probably not. But Bugsnax can now randomly have a little hat on. And there's 25 different hats to collect in the game as well. Luckily enough, after you catch your first hat, there's like a picture on the board that tells you where the next hat is hidden. So you just have to catch the first one kind of blind or without any prior knowledge. But after that, it gets a little bit easier. But yeah, so the base game roughly is about a 2 hour 100% category, and then the with DLC, I think world record stands just shy of 6 hours, so it's really long. And then a couple of other like more miscellaneous categories. We also have all bosses, so we're not going to see it in this run, but this game has now 5. Base game has 4, and then the DLC added 1 more, what they call legendary Bugsnax, which are basically big boss fights that you have to shrink them down to size, shrink very large Bugsnax down to size, and be able to catch them. So we have a category for that, where we fight all the bosses in the game, both base game and DLC for that as well. And then last but not least, we have a DLC specific category, which we just call Isle of Big Snacks, which is where you start from a fresh file. You play to the point where the DLC unlocks, which is actually decently far into the game. You have to get about, I would say like 75 or so percent through the main story, as well as complete like 3 different side quest lines. So that actually takes up a majority of the time. It takes about 40 minutes or so to get through all that. And then you get over to the DLC island and complete the main quest for that as well. So that's about the same length as No Major Skips run, actually. I think each of my records of those categories are like 30 seconds apart or something like that. So they're pretty close. But that one is a more trick-heavy run than this one is. So has its own complications. But yeah, a little something for everybody. If you like glitches, we have those. If you prefer glitchless runs, we have those. Or if you prefer completionist categories, we got those. Just run Bugsnax. It's a great game. Can't suggest it enough.
Don't worry, Gramble. We'll go check it out.
And even if you want to just play it casually, this game is incredible casually. Like,
yes,
this is probably my favorite game of 2020.
Yeah, I obviously would agree with that as well. It's just really good. The story is great. The mechanics, I guess, is what I would call them. You know, like actually catching the Bugsnax and solving these puzzles and figuring these things out. Wonderful. Highly suggested. Weirdly enough, in terms of the speedrunning community, and I'm sure this probably translates slightly to casual play, there's a big Ape Escape to Bugsnax pipeline. Like, it exists.
Don't worry, folks.
Like, a lot of people who ran Ape Escape also run Bugsnax, and I'm sure if you enjoyed Ape Escape, you probably would enjoy this. I actually have never played Ape Escape, so I don't know, but this game is awesome, so play it for sure.
So that's settled.
I told you, I was not joking. This cutscene is very long, but we are almost finally done. We actually just met the good old Chad himself, Chandlo, and we're gonna see Chandlo. Yeah, Chandlo's everyone's favorite. Chandlo is just a himbo, pretty much. Like, he's a jock, but he's got a heart of gold.
real
Yeah, and we're gonna meet him a little bit more along with his partner Snorpy in the next area that we unlock Sugar Pine Woods here. But we finally got through the cutscene, believe it or not. So that's 2 of 4 parties here. We're gonna we'll start walking backwards, and we're gonna do Sugar Pine Woods, and we're gonna get a little saucy right away here in Sugar Pine Woods. So before, like I said, we try to preempt everything that we do. So we do all the catches that we need, and then turn in the quests at once. So we're gonna be a little funny here. We're gonna fling one Bugsnax at another, just like that. Throw that trap down, and then get out of the way a little bit. Hopefully this one, nope. What can happen here is that one of those honeybees can also stick to this Cinesnail, which would save us time because then I can get a 2-for-1 special here. We're gonna climb on some geometry here and just free catch this guy. And that's all the catches we need for right now. We're gonna have to catch 1 more Bugsnax during the day and a few more at night. But yeah, basically I just caught 5 Bugsnax rapid fire right there. 1 Quookie, 2 honeybees, and 2 Cinesnails. So blink and you miss it. I'm gonna let this.
Lift in your crib, dog.
You gotta let that voice line play. Lift in your crib, dog. All right, so let's turn in some quests for Chandler here. Actually, no, we gotta just talk to Chandler here briefly, and then we're gonna talk to Snorpy. Snorpy's gonna hook us up with a really cool new tool called the Stat Grappler. That is gonna allow us to grab things from a distance, which is really handy. So we're gonna grab that, and then we're gonna be using that for some quests right here with our good pal Chandler. Namely, we're gonna get his basketballs back. We need to get 3 in. We gotta get 3 and score them in the hoop. So, oops, we're gonna start that right away by grabbing that one. What just happened? Okay. Okay. All right. I don't know what any of that was. That has never happened before. I said it. But yeah. The game, I think, intends for us to shoot the basketballs in the baskets, by the way, but you just have to put them down there. You don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna I'm gonna close that actually. Talk to Chandler to advance these 2 quests here. I'm actually going to set this trap up. You want to set it up a little bit farther away from the fence, or else you're just going to get clotheslined by the fence. We're gonna close that. Feed him 1 Cinesnail for this quest. Doesn't matter how long I take on that other Cinesnail because it's just stuck to its back, and we're gonna make a run for it. While Chandler is running back to camp, we're gonna take a pathway here. We're gonna jump up here, and we're gonna try to clip through this and get that trap a little early. That's not technically how you're intended to do it. You're supposed to get the quest, and it opens up a plank in the wall there, and then you can grab it with ease. But you can just kind of. Oh no, I did that wrong. I'm gonna have to catch 2 more honeybees. I don't even know how I'm gonna do that. I might have to reload a save or exit and come back. Exit, sleep, and come back. Oh boy. All right. Oh wait, no. There's more honeybees here. I know what I can do. Let's close this. I always forget there's a second little squad over there. We're gonna catch 1. So the downside to catching everything you need in advance is you have to make sure that you submit them in order. Otherwise, if you feed them the snacks too early and then you get the quest, you just have to do the quest all over again. So that is immediate downside to what I'm doing here. I wasn't paying super close attention, and now I gotta catch some more honeybees. Oh, well, I'll just take that one. That's fine. We're gonna go turn those in again. So a little time lost there, but ultimately not the end of the world. Go turn those back in at Chandler here. He's just extra honeyed out. The drip is real. Now, so after you talk to Snorpy here, he tells you about this new trap, which is called the tripwire. And then that's when the gap in the wood would open up, and then you could catch it a little easier. But we already have it, so we just skip all that. And then we're gonna feed him these cookies, making sure, of course, that they go on the teeth. We start getting very specific requests. Like, I would like my teeth specifically to turn into cookies. So you gotta be a little bit more targeted with where you put your snacks. We're going to catch 2 char mallows. We're gonna set a trap up there. We're going to hopefully get a good position on that. And we're gonna get 1 and 2. And we're waiting for this thing to count down anyway, so come on over, friend. If you remember, our used car salesman type guy, Chromodo, needs 2 bopsicles. Now it says bopsicles or big bopsicles, so we could get the big version if we wanted to, but it's easier to let it break and then get the 2 smaller pieces because we need 2 of them anyway. We're gonna feed the char mallows here, and then we're gonna be on our way.
With that,
All right. So yeah, that is Sugar Pine Woods complete, and what makes this good is we actually get a 2-for-1 special here. They both return. It's the first biome to do that actually so far, and we take the opportunity now to return to Gorge. I'm actually going to try to showcase a little bit of a glitch here that I'm not so good at, but we're going to try it anyway, which is called the super bounce. So I'm going to put a trap here and hopefully get it to aim up like that. And I'm going to try to super launch myself. Let's see. No. And then if I'm able to do it, I'll explain exactly what it is. That looks good. Yeah. All right. We'll take that. So what a super launch is so as you can see with the trap, you're able to set its distance. Hold on, I'm going to make sure I do this correctly after I messed up that last one. There we go. You're able to set its distance. However, we're very heavy. So we can't go the same distance as say any trap can. The traps are a lot lighter than we are. So whenever we stand on the super launcher, the launch pad rather, it changes the trajectory because we're too heavy. However, if you position it just so, and then you time it just right to where you're about to fall off the pad, but then you right as it changes back to like that full gravity launch, you can actually launch yourself like you were launching a trap in terms of the same distance. So we use that to save a lot of time on complicated jumps, or in that case, instead of walking all the way to the end, climbing up the stairs, jumping up on one at a time, and then getting up there. So it can save a lot of time. In the Isle of Bugsnax category, we do a ton of super launches because we can skip a lot of puzzles that way in that category. Now, unfortunately, we're in the third party. Now, the third party kind of outlines here, there we go, that someone has broken into the camp and is doing nefarious things like vandalism, no more Bugsnax, and then there's a spade on the ground over here. I actually might be set up okay for this. Can I get that? After this dialogue continues, I can't move my feet here, but after this dialogue finishes up, what the game wants us to do is find 6 clues around the island signifying what's going on. Fortunately for us, we can get between 2 and 4 of those clues while we're standing still right here. 4 is very optimistic, but it's kind of hard to get. Basically, you can see these footprints that are just right behind Gramble's head there. That's one of them, but you have to position yourself really, really nicely in order to be able to get those. Otherwise, it's that Bugsnax sign, it's that spade on the ground, and it's these tracks over here that are pretty common. So 3 is the most common. But if you position yourself so poorly, you can actually cut yourself off from getting the spade as well. So little optimizations. We try to get 4, but 3 is most common. So we're about to break out here, so we can get the other clues. We're gonna get 1 here. We're gonna get, please get him away. We're gonna get 1 there, and then there's a lock on the ground. That actually doesn't unlock until the cutscene is over anyway, so I couldn't even get that one early if I wanted to. And then here we are. We're in another cutscene for like 5 minutes. So that is definitely the downside of this category. Because it's a no major skips category, you can't progress the story unless you're doing it by completing the main quest line. You unfortunately have to sit through these cutscenes. So keep that in mind if this is a category you ended up interested in running. Which for some people that's a good thing. You know, this run, which is relatively short, has a lot of bathroom breaks. So you know you got time. You can check your phone. You can go to the bathroom, do all that fun stuff. So definitely keep that in mind. But
let me ask you, Conception. What's your favorite Bugsnax? What's your favorite Bugsnax in general? And then what's your favorite Bugsnax to catch? Like,
okay, great question. This is my favorite Bugsnax, which is the bunger. Yeah, I love the bunger. Really endearing sound effects, and like I'm also just like a big cheeseburger guy. As you can tell, I love putting the cheeseburgers away. I like eating them. So that's my favorite one. My favorite bug snack to catch.
Me and Smokey were a lot safer before we came back.
Oof.
Same goes for me and my little one.
They're
No, we shouldn't split up
this is more of a speed running catch trick. But in the next area that we're about to go into, actually called Sizzling Sands. In some categories, we have to catch what's called a cheeser, which is like a little, like those little cracker things that you had when you were a kid that are like, it's just like 2 Ritz crackers with cheese in the middle, basically.
Yep.
So if you're really quick, if you bolt out of the gate at the beginning of that, you can set yourself up where you throw a trap down and launch a tripwire like at a tree as soon as you can. And if you're really quick, it's like a quick draw and you get the cheeser before it leaves the cycle. And whenever I hit that, it just feels really good because I feel like a cowboy in a Western where I just have like the revolver and it just like out off. That one's pretty good. Just like from a casual perspective, one of my favorite ones to figure out how to catch and then subsequently catch was in Boiling Bay, which is another area we haven't been to yet. There is a different cheapoof that's called the Flaming Cheapoof. And it took me so long to figure out how to catch it because you have to extinguish it and then catch it. And there's it just sits in a pool of fire. Like there's nothing around that can extinguish it. So you have to get a little bit creative and figure out the best ways to catch it. And there's a really cool way to catch it by launching a big popsicle at it, essentially. And that's also really, really satisfying. So we are going to walk around them. I haven't actually determined if it's faster to walk or fast travel here. Probably fast travel is a little bit faster. The reason why we want to walk around Triffany and Wambus there is that they actually have a cutscene. So if you get too close, they'll trigger the cutscene, which actually isn't a problem. We're actually just saving the cutscene for later specifically. Because we're going to need to talk to Wambus to do some interviews, and I'll go into why that is when we get there. But he is a lot closer to where we're going to be if he stays there in that cutscene as opposed to where he normally is, which is in the farm. So we're going to try and keep him there for as long as possible. But now we've branched off of all of Snacksburg's biomes that are immediately there. So now we're going into like the extended biomes here. So just past Scorched Gourds here, we have this new area called Sizzling Sands. We're going to launch the Epicontis into the water. You'll see why later, I guess. Or not really. It's just part of a quest. So we're going to grab this egg. We're going to throw that at this Epicontis. Please stop being mad at me, though. Get on it. Okay, good. I just need to launch it. I got to extinguish this one as well, so. All right, there we go. That's pretty good. We're going to get some hot sauce here. We're going to get FPS again. Told you it was going to come back into play. We're going to get just to the side. Oh no, we're going to get flung by that flapjack rack there. Actually, we're going to hit that egg with some sauce so that Buffalocust there will extinguish it. I shouldn't have done it with this. Please let me out. This is a mistake. Oh, I did this in my most recent practice run as well. Usually I try to fling a Spuddy here instead to open this door. But I flung the flapjack rack instead because it came at me faster. But then I just get stuck in this cyclone of just nonstop annoyance. But we finally got out. All right, now this is the most annoying part. Oh, I didn't even hit it with chocolate. This is the most annoying part of this section here. We have to lure this black raspy through this maze. And the reason why it's annoying is because we have these enchiritos that love to cause problems. Now, what I usually try to do is exactly what I'm doing here is I will throw some sauce on a rock so that they unburrow themselves, and then I will just get close to them because they're easily spooked. So I'll scare them so that they try to dive underground, and then they'll hit the rock instead. So that stuns them for 10 seconds. Easier said than done. They're a little bit finicky, and this black raspy can also be on the finicky side. So I'm going to take this a little bit slower than normal because I can actually just ruin this pattern for no reason. But other than that, we just need to grab some cheese. There we go. And head on over to Shelda. So Shelda has a lot of weirdly specific quests. So first, we need to bring her 3 cheeses. Done. Second, we need to break 2 eggs. Done. to Eggler specifically. Third, we need to break to Picantus's. And fourth, we need to escort that Black Raspy from its underground pathway. So a lot of weird quests there, but overall not too shabby. So we're going to do this little puzzle. And that actually gets us to Boiling Bay. Now, Boiling Bay is an extension of... It's actually an extension off of Simmering Springs, that first ocean-y area. But there's a shortcut that you can take between the two. That's the same every time, so, you know, it's not too hard to memorize. We're going to launch some cheese here. We're going to get this noodler's attention. Not going to catch ourselves on fire. Sometimes catching yourself on fire is a good idea. But not right now. We need to catch this noodler, so we're going to extinguish it first. And we're going to be in an RNG heavy section here where I can't really control. We need to get a Banopper. Banoppers fly between trees here. Okay, I got really lucky and got it on an opening cycle, which is great. But it can hop between these 3 trees here, so it can be like really just a waiting game in terms of it picking the right trees. You're not extinguished, though, is the problem. I need you to be extinguished is the thing. Oh, wait. No, darn. It extinguished for, like, the last second. All right, and then now I'm going to catch myself on fire because you run ever so slightly faster when you're on fire. We're going to go talk to our good pal, Floofty, who we met earlier. Now, Floofty has a little bit of a glitch in them as well. So first, we're going to turn their hand into a red Banopper as requested. So the second and third quests, basically, Floofty introduces this thing where we can target any limb with a Bugsnax they've already eaten. So we can change them to whatever they've already eaten. So we have a quest to change the Banopper hand into a Strabby, and then the Cocomites, whoops. The Banopper hand into a Strabby, and then their peg leg into a Strabby as well. But if you just go right and you have little Bugsnax in your inventory, for some reason it lets you do 2 quests at once, and I'm not really sure why. If you have too many snacks in your inventory, it doesn't let you do it. So it seems to be, the sweet magic number seems to be 3 there. We're gonna light ourselves on fire. We're gonna grab this clue, which is gonna be necessary for the end game, and we're going to fast travel back to Snacksburg here. All right, so like I said, we need to do a couple of interviews. Now, the interviews, what does that mean exactly? That doesn't really make sense. Our character is actually a journalist who has come to this island to figure out what Bugsnax are all about and to figure out what the inhabitants are doing on this island, basically. So part of the quest lines for the side quest lines, I should say, is learning about each character by interviewing them and then doing their side quests. And that way the game really opens you up to the idea of like learning who these characters are as people and their motivations and stuff like that, which is really cool. But we just are going to surface level do a few interviews. And the only reason why we're doing interviews here is because they have important clues that are necessary for the end game, basically getting through the last door. So we're not going to be interviewing everybody. We're going to only be interviewing the people who have clues that we need. So we're going to interview Wambus, which we just did. We're going to interview Gramble here. We're going to interview Snorpy, and we're going to interview Triffany. And those are the 4 that we're going to need for all the clues. Lisbert, who I kind of talked about before. Lisbert is a character who is the leader of this ragtag group of Grumpuses here. And she's mysteriously disappeared. And all these clues that we're finding are trying to help us figure out where she has disappeared to and what's going on with the island. So that is key to the end game. So we need to get all of the necessary clues. And that's basically what we're doing.
An entry you must.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I see some in the chat. Definitely suggest this game. Big shout outs to the music as well. Not only the score for the game, but the soundtrack, the main song by Carico Bonito. Just an absolute banger. Listen to the music, play the game. Can't suggest it enough. Just do it.
It's a man.
Yeah, the theme song is what drew me into the game at first because I really like KKB. It's great. absolutely stellar theme song, and then I played the game, and the game was awesome. So,
yeah, this game. So this game is developed by Young Horses, by the way. If you might have heard of Young Horses if you played the game Octodad, they are the same developers. So yeah, highly suggest checking them out because they're very, very fun. They were most recently, I think that I saw them in the news for they have moved to a work model that allows their workers to do 4 days a week, 32 hours a week. And they've seen like just an uptick in performance and, you know, like employee satisfaction and stuff like that, which is really, really cool to see. That being said, we are in our final biome, kind of. We're going to have a couple other areas, but this is our last biome, like where snacks are involved, really. We're going to get some peanut butter, and we're going to catch this Mount Sodi here. That's going to be an important bug snack, and we're going to go run in and talk to Eggabell. Eggabell being Lizbert's partner. She is trying to find Eggabell, trying to find Lizbert, rather. She is probably more motivated than most to find her because, you know, they're together. She's going to make a long walk to the bottom of this mountain, and we have to wait for her there to move on with the quest. While we're doing that, though, we're going to be catching some bug snacks that we need. So we already caught one, which was the Mount Sodi. We're going to catch this Chippy, just a walking chocolate chip cookie. And then we're going to pull out our peanut butter that we just grabbed, and we're going to hit the Flutter Jam right here with some peanut butter and make a true and proper peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Grab that, fall down here. And now, instead of us waiting on Eggabell, instead of Eggabell waiting on us, we're waiting on Eggabell to finish her deal. Come on over. All right, so she got some quests. We basically, it's find all the clues necessary to open this door behind me. So now we need to activate these 3 statues, which is exactly the 3 snacks that I just caught. Basically, as you can see, there's 6 statues here that all represent a different bug snack. She says, hey, you catch half, I'll get the other half. So we just catch the 3 fastest bug snacks, essentially. And believe it or not, that's, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to think, that is the last bug snacks catch that we do in the run. So we're making our way.
The sides don't matter?
The sides don't matter, nope.
Oh my god.
Like you did all one side?
I'm pretty sure I did all of one side.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. You just have to pick a random 3. Yep. Any random 3. So if you ever played again, yeah, highly suggest the Mount Sodi Chippy Flutter Jam combo. Also, if you're hungry, I highly suggest the Mountain Dew peanut butter and jelly sandwich and chocolate chip cookies because that sounds pretty good too.
You're so different.
But yeah, we're on what I like to call walking simulator here. We get these two long walking segments. Fun fact here for this, we actually do have access to our tools, as you can see there. One runner named Recount of this game, I believe it was Recount at least, was fooling around during this part and hit Philbo with some sauce in the face just for fun. And Philbo stopped and turned around and would not move. So not only was it creepy, you know, in a like Five Nights at Freddy's kind of way or something, it soft locked the game. So we cut the shenanigans out here. But yeah, we can't run there. We can't expedite the process. The best thing we could try to do would be to super launch ourselves, but super launch is really based off of momentum. So either jumping momentum or running momentum. We can jump, but it's not as fast as, you know, running and jumping. So it's a little bit tough. And even so, we still have to wait for them to arrive anyway. So even if we got ahead, it doesn't affect anything. So not much we can do here. We finish out this quest, and we're actually basically in the end game here. So we're actually going to see that right now. Not Sugar Pine. We're going to go to Snacksburg. We're going to go back. Philbo's going to be ready for that 4th and final party. That final celebration. The game actually will give us a warning here that says, hey, this is the point of no return. You're not going to be able to do anything when, you know, so make sure like you're good. You did everything you needed to do here. All right, I think I got the right. I think I hit that first button. We're going to find out here in a second. So we're going to just throw a cup over there. This is all going to look very confusing for a second.
I understand you.
Basically, what we need to do for the 4th celebration is get everybody to dance around the fire. Everyone has different conditions. So, for example, Shelda here on the right will not dance until that orb over her head is broken. So what I do is I preemptively hold a cup, and then as the cutscene triggers, the cup automatically lets go.
OMG.
So that gets one down. Filbo will come automatically. For Beffica, you have to play her favorite song on the radio, which is what I did right at the beginning. Hit the radio 3 times. That gets her there. Wambus needs a little liquid courage so he can go apologize to Gramble. Where's that cup I threw? Oh, there it is. So they apologize. Gramble won't dance until Wambus apologizes anyway, so they both go off. Wiggle also needs a little liquid courage. There you go. Also, that straw in the cup came out of nowhere. It wasn't there before. Also, I'm throwing empty cups, so I don't know what they're drinking. No idea. We have to talk to Floofty here. Floofty believes that there is no purpose to dancing because Floofty is a very experimental and scientific mind. Triffany over here is going to talk about the cultural significance of dancing. Floofty's going to buy into that, and they're going to go dancing together.
I'm all talking.
Snorpy won't dance until he has a conversation with his partner Chandlo, where he's kind of a little bit unsure as to where they stand in their relationship. And Chandlo is just kind of like, I love you, man. We've been dating for years. This is great. And so Snorpy feels better about that. They go off and dance. And then Cromdo, the last one there that I take care of in between, will just dance once you remove 2 cups from the table. That's all you have to do for that one. And here we are. That's actually all we do for the final party. The rest is just another cutscene. So, yeah, there's some more long cutscene, more exposition as to what's happening in the story. You know, everything's fine, everyone's partying, and I don't foresee anything bad happening. I can't really see it. Definitely no omens of doom. Our end is certainly not nigh, so I wouldn't think that.
Yeah, I mean, this has been just a genuinely, unironically, up until this point, this game has been like pretty normal.
Mm-hmm. And then it takes a twist, a little bit of a twist. No, it's been, as you can see, this game's very colorful. It's very lively. It gets a little dark. Some even have alluded to the end of this game being a horror-like. I don't really go horror with this. It doesn't scare. I don't think there's really anything scary unless you're like triggered by like body horror stuff, like like having a carrot for a hand, for example. That's probably a little disturbing to some people. But in terms of nothing scary happens, but it gets a little dark. It gets a little emotional in the end. It can actually get really dark. I'll talk about this a little bit. So this game has a good ending and a bad ending, actually. The what makes this game interesting is, from a speedrun perspective, typically a game that has a good ending and bad ending, the bad ending will be faster because the good ending will have some extra qualification that you have to do to satisfy that, right? But in this game, it's actually faster by a lot to get the good ending than the bad ending. What happens in the bad ending is if you do nobody's side quest. So actually, I haven't done anybody's side quest line in this. I just do the main quest. Oops. So if you do nobody's side quests, anyone that you haven't done their entire side quest line actually has a chance of dying in the end. Like dying. Like if you saw Avengers Infinity War at the end when they're all starting to turn to dust, it's very much like that, spoiler alert, I guess, if you haven't seen that movie. But yeah, everyone starts turning to dust and they start saying like all these sad words. And the way that happens is in this like in-game rundown that we call the gauntlet.
Hey, everybody.
If they get overcome by Bugsnax, basically, too many Bugsnax in their system, they'll start to turn to dust. But that takes a lot longer because you have to fail these mini games and stuff in order for that to happen. So it's sad and it's long. So don't do it. Just be good. Just get the happy ending, and it's a little bit more smiles.
Liz is in danger.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know there was an alternate. I didn't know there was a bad ending.
Yeah,
because obviously I played it once and I got the good ending.
Yeah, it's actually really hard to get the bad ending, to be honest. You have to actively not play most of the game, like in terms of the side quests. You got to pretty much not play any of it. And then you have to fail the end so hard that people start dying. So it's hard
incredible.
To get. Yeah, it's hard to get. Or the other alternative is, so as you can see, people's limbs turn into Bugsnax when you feed them. That's kind of the gimmick of the Bugsnax. You eat a Bugsnax, your limb turns into the Bugsnax that you just ate, right? I believe there are 14 points on a Grumpus body here that you can turn into a Bugsnax. It's like 3 on the head, the face, the body, the upper arm, the lower arm, the upper arm, the lower arm, the upper leg, the lower leg, the upper leg, the lower leg. So it's like 14 Bugsnax. You can feed them all entirely. So like you can feed them 14 Bugsnax so they're transformed, and then just like barely fail the end and trigger it. But you'd also have to not do their side quests. So it's just the game rewards you for caring, basically. So yeah, just play the game as it is.
No way, pal.
Yeah, I know.
Snorfty.
Snarfty, right? Floofty.
Floofty.
Floofty has a storyline where you have to transform every single part of their body.
Yep, that is correct. So actually, like if you go all the way to the end of Floofty's quest line, but then don't finish it, that's a good way to get Floofty to die in the end. You can just, because they're already fully transformed, all they have to do is eat one more Bugsnax in the end, and then they'll die. Yeah, also for some reason here, I think because they have like this walking cutscene and conversation stuff, I can't fast travel here. I have to do the long walks. So as opposed to me just going right to Frosted Peak, I have to walk through Sugar Pine Woods into Frosted Peak here. And then we have the one last walk down the mountain. Now, if you've seen the any percent run before or just interested in it in general, the any percent run gets to it starts at the beginning. It does that cutscene skip I did, right? It skips the Filbo quest. It has to do Garden Grove the way I did it, with like catching the Frider through the floor and all that. You have to do that. You can't skip it. Then you get into Snacksburg. You jump over a river by climbing on some roofs, and you get into Sugar Pine Woods early. And then you scale the mountain to get out of bounds and get into the Frosted Peak loading zone early, so this area. And then you can run all the way down here to the door, and you can clip through this door. Oh, actually, we want to keep going forward. You can clip through this door and then get to where we're about to be in a second, all within about 5.5 minutes. It's pretty fast. So all this, what are we, like 50-something minutes in now? Yeah, all this.
Nobody's perfect, right?
You know, if you'd rather do it in 5 minutes, you certainly can. And it's not that hard to do, to be honest. This is a very speedrunner friendly game, not only in terms of like the technique involved in the speedruns themselves, but also the developers are very speedrun friendly. When the Isle of Bugsnax DLC came out, they actually accidentally patched out one of the early game skips because they were worried that casual players would come back to that area and use tools, and they would get themselves out of bounds way too easily. However, we brought it up in the Discord server for Young Horses, and they were thinking like, oh, well, the first time you're through there, you don't have tools, so unless you're specifically speedrunning, you won't get out of bounds very easily. So you know what? We'll patch the skip back in, and they did. They patched the skip back in. So they're very speedrunner friendly. This game has been all these glitches that have occurred in the game and skips and stuff were found very early, like within days after the game's release. They've known about them since then, and they encourage and are happy that people are playing their game in this way. So we love to see that. Hope more developers take note of that in the future, because it's really good. Here we are, by the way, in the Undersnacks. This is below the mountain, and this is what's causing all the disruption on the island. It's making the island explode, and believe it or not, this is Lizbert. Lizbert has turned into a creature called the Queen of Bugsnax. As you can see, she's kind of a very large creature. Spoiler alert for the lore if you're interested, I guess. What happens here is that basically Lizbert went underground she was able to determine that Bugsnax were making this island unstable, and they needed to be controlled. Otherwise, they were going to run amok, destroy the island, and take over anybody that was on the island. So she comes down here, she basically sacrifices herself to become the Queen of Bugsnax, and uses her sheer willpower to control the Bugsnax as much as she can, so they don't take over and they kind of just like, you know, live hospitably. But her power only goes so far. So the island is starting to collapse and everyone's in danger. Fun little glitch here. I trigger a conversation here and actually makes that loading zone activate like 3 seconds early for some reason.
I mean, that's definitely why people thought it was horror, is that whole section.
Yeah, you go under there and it's just snacks on the walls and everyone looking ominously at you, and then there's this like basically snakehead creature telling you like, hey, I'm actually a good guy, you know, so it's a little bit spooky for sure. But Egabelle sacrifices herself there to join in with Lizbert in order for us to get just enough time so that we can get off the island. I nailed an excellent parkour trick off a very thin pole. It lets me skip across the treetops as opposed to falling down a level and then climbing up a bridge. So it saves about 2 seconds, but it's also just really cool looking. It's very Mirror's Edge-esque, if you will. If you know, if this game could be compared to Mirror's Edge at any point, it would be there. And here we are in the Gauntlet. This is what I was talking about. So the Gauntlet is a series of basically 6 mini games, for lack of a better term. Or just like small activities. We're going to use all the traps that we've earned throughout the game, but the traps have been adjusted by Snorpy as opposed to being capturing traps. They're more like destruction traps. So instead of this being a snack trap, this is more of a snack chop. We're chopping some Bugsnax because they're starting to turn on us. We're going to wait for that one to enter the range. Wait a second and jump backwards. And we're actually right here in the next area. So that's one mini game down. We have Floofty and Shelda here. So our snack grappler has a boxing glove at the end, so it's more of a punching mechanism now. You're meant to stand here and punch forward and just hit them all, but if you come around the side, you can usually hit them all in one punch like that. It's definitely a lot faster if it works properly. Oh boy. We're gonna take a long berth out that way. And we're gonna add, there's 4 Bugsnax. I think 1 got out. Yeah, 2 got out. Interesting. So we capture those, and we got Picantis here. We're actually gonna get behind them and hit them forward, as opposed to hitting them like into the barn here that we're standing in. The reason why we do that, it's actually faster to do it this way. We hit them towards Shelda and Floofty, because as you can see with the Picantis, it's a larger Bugsnax made of 3 smaller Bugsnax. So when you destroy a Picantis, it breaks into those smaller Bugsnax, so you got to destroy those too, right? But if you get behind them and hit them forward towards Shelda and Floofty, they'll actually start eating the Bugsnax. They'll start chomping on them, which really speeds that process up, as opposed to having to hit like a bunch of different Bugsnax with the boxing glove. This one with Chandler and Snorpy is just a tripwire minigame. There's actually no way to do this slower or faster because they are all on a set timer as to when they spawn. So even if I don't tripwire them here, they'll still spawn at the same times. So it doesn't matter. The only one that matters obviously is the last phase because we want to hit the last option with the tripwire as fast as possible so we can transition to the next activity. So not much here of note. But yeah, as you can see, the Bugsnax are kind of attacking us here, right? So if for some reason I did all these mini games super poorly and let every Bugsnax get to them, then it would start becoming a problem as to them might being able to pass away. But we're not going to do that. What I tried to do there at the end of that mini game was jump into some like geometry in the floorboard there and kind of get myself wedged closer to this mini game. Because after you complete the tripwire thing, it tries to pull you closer to Chandler and Snorpy. But I wasn't successful, but you can sometimes get yourself caught in there and be ever so slightly closer to the next challenge. Now this is barrels. This is by far the hardest to do fast. It requires precision not only in where you're placing the launch of the barrels, but also timing it and when you launch it. It's not super duper hard because the launching of barrels, you can like track them. If I placed my pointer specifically on the Bugsnax, I could launch a barrel and it'll kill the one Bugsnax immediately. However, what I'm trying to do instead is destroy the whole wave with one barrel because that's a lot faster. So far, so good. Let's see if I can keep it up. That might be a little early. Nope, we're good. That might be a little early. Nope, we're good. All right, so one last wave.
For chat, this is surprisingly hard to do what he's doing. Like, this is not exactly the easiest mini game.
No, yeah.
That's pretty nuts that you got all those in one shot. Because I think for your one and done-a-thon run, you missed a couple. So
Yeah, I remember specifically that going a little bit hairy. I wanted Dunathon run. Like I said, it's very precise, not only where you place them, but in terms of when you launch them. But that is as fast as it can go. As you can see, every wave had 3 Bugsnax there, besides the last one, which has 5. So in the last wave, we launch a barrel. Hello? There we go. We launch a barrel to destroy the middle 3, and then as the final 2 start to move in closer to each other, then we launch a barrel to try and get them in the same barrel as well. All of that went perfectly, even while I was explaining it, so that's pretty good. This mini game is pretty self-explanatory. We got a spiky ball. We're running over the Bugsnax with a spiky ball. Now their spawns are the same every time, so I know exactly where they're going to be. Like for example, there's just going to be a mystery spawn right here. Just spawns out of nowhere. Don't even come out of the ground. They just appear. So I kind of have a set pattern here. The only thing that finicky that can go here is actually the ball pattern can be a little bit strange. As you can kind of tell, the terrain that it's on right here is a little bit sloped downward, and a little bit sloped down to the left of the screen as well. So sometimes the ball won't want to stay straight. It'll just go start circling as opposed to staying like where I want it to stay, which can create a little bit of frustration, but that was pretty clean. And then last but not least here, we have the final mini game, which is accurate and appropriate because this is where we're shooting. We're FPSing here. We're flinging some sauce. We got a special sauce here.
First person saucer.
Yeah, first person saucer, exactly. First person slingshot game. This is what this is. We make it work. We made it work. So what we do here, again, the patterns are all the same in terms of spawn. We're just going to place the sauce very precisely so that they travel the least amount of distance, just like that, and that they run into each other. I'm going to start preemptively placing sauce on the next patterns here so that they run into each other a little bit easier there. That actually stayed, so I didn't have to worry about that one, but I launched it anyway. Then we got a sauce here, here, and here. Then we're gonna sauce it in reverse, same way. And then no run is complete unless you sauce Wambus. I didn't make the rules. Gotta sauce Wambus.
Does he have a reaction to that?
Yeah, he usually just goes, ow! And that's it. There's a couple of unwritten rules. One is you must sauce Wambus, and the second one actually comes up at the end here. One, let's see here. There's a little bit of a visual glitch that can occur here. It didn't happen. Okay. As you can see, we got on a ship there and it goes up a ramp. I can actually position myself where I'll go off the side of the ramp and I'll just get stuck in that corner. And the game doesn't really know what to do with the camera. So I just start like bobbling around there and it eventually just shoves me back on the boat automatically anyway. But it's a little bit slower in a visual glitch. But yeah, we're actually close to time, by the way. We're about, I don't know, 30 seconds out, I would say. We just have one last little, basically cutscene and walking segment here. And we'll see what the second unwritten rule of speedruns is for this game.
I was always confused when Young Horses announced the Isle of Bugsnax DLC. I was like, okay, if they just got off the island, why would they go back?
Yeah. Well, so it actually occurs before the end of the story.
Yeah.
So they just kind of shoehorn it in there. Oops. I hey buddied. So that's not what you're supposed to do. Which is when you accidentally don't trigger that dialogue, and you get turned back around.
I know.
Okay, and you have to be a little bit careful there as well. So there's a dialogue choice there. I actually forget what the choices are specifically. 3 choices. If you hit the second option instead of the third option, it actually takes you all the way back before the gauntlet. So you got to be careful. Time's coming up, by the way. And time. Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that. Sub 110.
Is the unwritten rule to bonk Philbo at the end?
Yes. Yeah, you have to pick up a shell, and then as you're triggering that cutscene, let the shell fly, and you bonk Philbo with the shell. Again, I don't make the rules; it's just what it is. So
perfect.
As we enjoy some Caro Bonita goodness here, does not trigger DMCA, by the way. Don't worry about it. Just a few shout outs here. Again, I kind of alluded to it throughout the run. This is a very accessible game in terms of speedrunning. It's on every console. We have a split on the board for console and PC so that you don't have to worry about load times if that is a concern of yours. So you can play on console, you can play on PC, and you don't have to feel as though you are behind because you don't have the most up-to-date hardware or anything like that. So come on and join us. Speedrun.com/Bugsnax. You can find our guides there and resources on our Discord server. We actually also have a subreddit, r/Bugsnax speedrunning. It's largely inactive, but if you have some clips or something you want to post there or have questions, we're checking it. We got our eyes on it, so feel free. I also just wanted to shout out the GDQ team here. So Amy, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate being a part of the wacky FPS block. A little bit unusual. But I just love this game so much, so whenever I get to run it, it's always a pleasure. So thank you for allowing me to do so. And for Richard and everyone behind the scenes as well, I really appreciate you all hanging out and doing everything you do to make these streams as successful as they are. So much appreciated. Small little plug, if I might. I am also a GDQ HotFix showrunner, in case you didn't know that. I run a show. It's actually the day before this show, always. So my show is called Awfully Silly, and it occurs on Mondays in the same week as AIMBOT here. And Awfully Silly features speedruns that would be featured in your favorite block of the mainline events, which is, of course, the Awful and the Silly block. So come check it out. We just had an episode yesterday where we did some of my favorite SGDQ Silly block runs, and Amy was a part of that on commentary for a Miscusi. So come check that out. And to briefly tease the next episode, it's going to be rat-themed. We're going to have rat games. So... yeah, we got some good rat games coming up, so come check that out in 2 weeks. So other than that, I think that's all I got. And yeah, my name's Conception. You can follow me on Twitch if you want. I've been pretty busy, so I haven't been streaming a lot myself, but yeah, come check me out if you'd like.
And yeah, again, I'll shout him out. Go watch Awfully Silly. It's really great. I was on it yesterday to commentate Miscusi. Incredible run. I really love that game and the whole Awful and Silly block. I produce a lot of them when I work when I do work at the events, because I'm usually working the overnight shift.
Overnight gang.
Yeah, overnight gang is great. So that's all for tonight for AIMBOT. Couple announcements, and then I'll tease my next episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you want to see the Bugsnax run that we just had, the Fashion Police Squad run from earlier, or the Pokemon Crystal randomizer, go to... Wait. Hang on. If you're watching this on Twitch, go to youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you want to see this live, weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. And as a reminder, all of your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on GDQ channel help support Games Done Quick, both with HotFix and with the HDQ 23 costs. So please consider subscribing if you like this content and you want to see more of it. Tomorrow we have Mercy Kill with Skybills and Never Before Seen, all starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. And as a teaser for the next show, it's going to be a classic Xbox 360 show. So stay tuned for that. And we'll see y'all next time.
All right. Bye, everyone.